And now the next case.
Parties on Newdecker versus Key. Step forward, please.
29-year-old hairdresser Lisa Newdecker is suing her ex-boyfriend, carpenter Christopher Key, 30, for money she loaned him before he met his current wife, Melissa.
Well, I've read your papers. There are a couple of interesting little quirks in these papers that I want to find out about. But basically, Miss Newdecker, this was your boyfriend about 5 years ago.
About 6.5 actually is when I started dating him.
And some 5 years ago, you lent him some money.
Over the course of the time we dated, yes.
How did you lend him this money?
He was short of cash and needed to get miscellaneous items, and I went with him and used my credit cards.
So it was basically credit card bills?
Yes.
And how much altogether was it that he charged at that point?
It was approximately $2,600.
And when you separated, according to these papers, he made a lot of payments.
Yes.
But that he still owes you $870.37.
Approximately, yes.
When was the last time he made a payment?
On October 4th. I received the check about October 7th.
And then he stopped making payments?
Yes.
Why?
Well, in the beginning of the breakup, there was a discrepancy when she came to me with the amount of how much was owed. I didn't remember it totaling up to $2,600, and I told her at the time that I didn't remember it being $2,600, and she insisted that it was.
So when you insist that it was and you say it wasn't, did you look over all the bills?
No,
Why?
because we were separated, it wasn't a matter of me going over and sitting down with her and going over and saying this was mine, that wasn't. She said that it was, and I had figured it to be around $1,500, $1,600, and
Well,
which is a considerable difference.
So why didn't you go over there and look over the bills? That's a $1,000 discrepancy.
We weren't a couple any longer. It just
So what? You weren't a couple? It seems to me it's now more of a business transaction than anything else. You mean you just thought you'd blow it off?
No. No. I didn't just think I'd blow it off. It was, like I said, I didn't see it that way, and she's seeing that it did.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Sometimes men do really dumb things. You always get caught because women are great snoops.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 29-year-old hairdresser Lisa Newdecker is suing her ex-boyfriend, carpenter Christopher Key, 30, for money she loaned him before he met his current wife, Melissa.
She had the papers to show you, sir, what items you purchased, I assume. Do you still have them?
Yes.
Well, take a look. 5 years later, sir, take a look.
It's a list of what all the paperwork is.
Once again, like I said, we were a couple at the time, and a lot of these items on here, if you would look them over, I don't know if she's gave you a list of this.
I had nothing.
Would be considered as, you know, when we lived together, if we went out someplace and I paid, I didn't consider it to be a loan.
What do you mean?
Like, there's an item on here, half the cost of portraits that we had done together.
Just a second. You had portraits done together. And she put down half the cost.
Right.
I paid the full amount on my credit card.
Well, that sounds fair to me. Doesn't it sound fair to you? Did you go and sit for the portrait?
Well, yes, I did.
She's not asking you to pay for the whole thing, just half.
Right. I understand that.
So give me another one.
Sega game.
Sega game.
Oh, sorry, Sega game tapes.
Those yours?
Yeah. They are now. At the time, you know, like I said, we were a couple.
You're a couple. So a Sega game, yours. Go.
Well,
give me another one.
Compact discs. Did she listen to the music, too? I don't know which specific compact discs they are. Building supplies. I don't remember that one. Building supplies.
What are
for
building
what?
supplies?
I don't remember exactly what it was for, but it was from Builder Square, and he was a subcontractor. I'm not. So
Which
I would
is
have
true. I
no
was
need.
a subcontractor, but at the same time, building supplies. Was it for something that we did? I remember the place that we lived in. We there was a we were going to put a fence around the place for the guy that we leased from. You know, I mean, there was just different items at different
just
times.
a second. Did you put a fence around the house?
No, we didn't. But the materials
Well, if you didn't, then what are you telling me the story about?
My point is this, though, Your Honor. When we lived together, the things she bought, I didn't keep an itemized list, so I can't very well stand here and argue with her and say, well, I bought this and you bought that, so we should be even because, like I said, when you're in a relationship with somebody, you don't keep receipts for different things that you buy for each other, but she did because she put them on her card. Now, I don't see, whereas, like I said, in a relationship, that you just do that as a couple.
Can I see the things, please?
Or at least I do.
Miss Newdecker, let me look through some of these things. Men's dress clothes for grandfather's funeral.
I didn't remember that she'd bought them. Like I said, of course, I didn't remember what all was on the list.
She's got the list and she's got the bills. You need a muffler and brakes for your car at one point?
I don't remember that either, but I'm not saying it didn't happen. This has been,
Did you have
like I said,
an El
5 years
Camino?
ago. Yes, I did.
There you go. All right. Now, so I am assuming for the purpose of this case that originally you owed her the $2,600 and that you made payments and she's kept very careful records of those payments and that all she claims that you owe her is $870. But what I really think you're probably angry about, sir, is that she wrote a letter to you which your wife opened. This is your wife?
Yes.
That created some problems for you?
Yeah, but that had nothing to do with the amount that I owed her. I honestly did not remember those other items, so
Okay, well,
I
now,
didn't believe that I owed them.
Well, now you do. So your wife opened this letter, and did that distress you?
Oh, yeah.
Well, step up here. Why did it distress you?
Because she said on the letter that my husband had went to see her 9.5 weeks ago, and I had no idea he was keeping in contact with her because of the first time and the last time I've ever met her, she tried running me and my husband off the road because she was, I guess, mad that he was going to stay with me and not her. We had only been dating on and off for a month.
How long are you married?
2 years now.
Mm-hmm. Everything okay? Mm-hmm. Fair?
Yeah.
Okay. You have any children?
Yep.
How old?
She's going to be 21 months.
And that's his baby?
Mm-hmm.
Why'd you have a seat? How come you're still going to this lady to cut your hair?
The purpose for me going to talk to her was because I owed her this money. But I did tell her that I would pay her.
And while you were there, you got your hair cut?
Yeah, I went to her place of business to see her. I don't...
Going to her place of business is one thing. Sitting down and schmoozing and having your hair cut is another thing. That's what really made your wife angry. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Did you charge him for the haircut?
Yeah, I gave him a discount, though.
Should have charged him full price.
I know that now.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Mr. Key, sometimes men do really dumb things. I don't know why they do that. They think they can get away with it. You always get caught. You know why? Because women are great snoops. Terrific. They can smell something that isn't right. Go to a barber. Meanwhile, it sounds to me, Mr. Key, that you got more trouble than the $870 that you owe this lady. It also looks to me as if you've got a very nice but very sad wife and a 21-month-old baby. So you better get your act together. You owe her $870.37. Pay her. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. There you are.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I don't know why she's being so ignorant as to take him to court and drag us all the way over here.
It has been 5 years,
ignorant.
and like I said, I was
He's
wrong
been
about the
making
amount.
payments, and he didn't want you to find out that he had been in contact with me for
That's
the full
right,
5
because you tried
years.
running us off the road.
No, I did
Yes,
not.
you did.
Let's go.
I feel kindly towards him. I'm sad to see that his wife has so much control over him. Bye-bye.
All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 379 on the calendar in the matter of Sievertson versus Lusinski. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, ma'am, have a seat.
Why would you give him your credit card?
I didn't give him my credit card. I purchased things for him on my credit card because we were in a relationship for a long time, and he said that he was going to pay me back.
Did you live together?
No.
So you dated? Mm-hmm. Over what period of time?
About 8 months.
And tell me about the first time that you started putting things on your credit card.
I guess we went to the mall, and he wanted to get, I think it was Sony PlayStation was the first thing that I got him.
What's a Sony PlayStation?
It's a video game system, and I got that for him because he said he really wanted it, and he said, you know, he couldn't come up with all the money at one time, so if I put it on my credit card, he could come up with the monthly payments.
Mr. Lunzinski, does that sound familiar to you?
No, Your Honor.
You remember this video game?
I never asked for anything. They were gifts.
Tell me about being at the mall, sir.
I went to the mall. She surprised me, talking about she wasn't going to tell me anything what we were going to do at the mall. But, you know, she had all that inside of her, what she wanted to, you know, buy me. So we went out. She bought me a Sony PlayStation. She took it in her responsibility to where she wanted to go out, you know. I mean, they're gifts. I didn't ask her to buy them. She knew that I wanted them.
I just asked you about one thing, sir, and you're going to give me a whole song and dance. You ever hear the expression, "me think the gentleman protests too much"? Did you ever hear that? Charles Schultz didn't say that. What next, madam?
The car, my car. I was out of town on a business trip with my father, and my car was parked at his house. And I did mention that I did want to sell my car, but I needed to get at least $900 for it because I still owed that money on it. So I guess someone was driving by his house and said that they wanted to buy it, and so Lance sold the car to this guy that I didn't even know for, he said $1,000. So I said, okay, that's fine, you know, I'll do everything when I get back. So
what happened?
Nothing happened with that. I kept calling him, and the guy that bought the car changed.
How could he buy a car without you signing over your
certificate?
certificate?
That's what I...
How could somebody buy a car without you signing over the certificate of title?
I don't know.
Where's the certificate of title for your car?
It wasn't in my name because I was going to get the title when I finished paying it off. So I have.
Whose name was it in?
In the person I bought it from, Dolores.
So the car wasn't in your name?
Right, because I needed to finish paying it off.
How did you sell a car that belonged to Dolores?
Well, if I can say one thing.
No. Answer my question.
How did I sell a car?
How do you sell a car to somebody that
No, that's a good
belonged
question. That's something
to
that,
Dolores?
Your Honor, I haven't figured out for the last 4 months. You know, the guy wanted to buy the car. He came to look at the car. I got a hold of her. She wanted to sell the car. But and the guy was supposed to give me $600, which I couldn't get $600 for the car. So the car had so many problems, you know, even though, I mean, I did something.
How do you sell a car without a certificate of title? You mean he just gave you money and he took the car? How's he going to register a car without a certificate of title?
I don't know, less paperwork is in the car, Your Honor.
It has to be signed, sir.
Yeah, I know, Your Honor.
Madam, go to the police.
I'm in the process of doing that.
Go to the police. Don't tell me about this car. I think you two people are both whacked up. I really do. Something suggests to me that you're both a little off. You go to the police, and you have the police get the car back. Did you get any money for it?
Didn't you get any money for the car?
What word didn't you understand, sir? Did
Yeah, I
you
got
get
money,
any
and I got
car?
money from the guy that bought the car, and I handed her $400. That's the only amount that he gave me that was affordable for him, even though he had to pay $600, which he was supposed to pay $200 more. And next thing you know, the car's in his name. And I'm not God. I don't know how he did that.
Did he give you
I don't
any
have a
money?
crystal
Just
ball.
a minute. Did he give you any money?
He gave me $400. And then I gave it back to him.
What?
Then I let him borrow it.
Borrow it?
When did you let him borrow it?
I'm not sure. It was for car payments and groceries and stuff that he wanted because he said he was going to pay me back. You know, I admit that I was an idiot, and I know this.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You would throw temper tantrums in the mall, and I was scared of you, so I bought those things for you.
Oh, different story.
And later today,
It's not her fault that your father violated his parole and served 6 months. She doesn't have to support you, sir. She's got enough trouble of her own.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 20-year-old Emily Siebertson says her ex-boyfriend, 26-year-old Lance Lunzinski, owes her money he borrowed before they broke up. Lance says the money was a gift.
So far, the only thing that you told me you bought for him, madam, that he said he would repay was this Nintendo game or whatever else it is.
Yeah.
What
and
else did you
some
buy?
Games, a shaver, clothes, shoes, and money for the car payment, groceries, and...
For him?
Yeah. He said he didn't have any money, so I was helping him out because we were in a relationship. I trusted him. I cared about him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Your Honor, we were in a relationship. We loved each other. We cared about each other. I didn't love her where she didn't think inside I loved her the way that I should have loved her. She loved me more. She gave way too much in a relationship. She gave way too fast. You know, I haven't got stuff like that since I was a little kid from my mom bringing me stuff like that.
That's
you know, now I'm
because
here.
if I didn't get you things, you would throw a temper tantrum and you would either
That's
beat me up
incorrect.
or you left me stranded at the mall if I didn't buy you those boots.
No,
you know?
I don't think so.
You would throw temper tantrums in the mall, and I was scared of you, so I bought those things for you.
Oh, different story. Listen to me, madam. It's coming clear to me. He used you.
I know.
He used you. But this is a court. In a court, there has to be a contract.
Mm-hmm.
Because what you're really suing for is a breach of contract, that you had an oral contract with him, that you would allow him to make certain purchases on your credit card, and he would pay the bills.
Right.
And he never made a payment on your credit card.
Yes, he did.
He did?
Yes, he...
Oh,
total...
He did. Show me where he made a payment on your credit card.
I made quite a few of them, to be honest with you.
You did?
It's just something that I didn't have to do. It's just...
Oh,
you know?
now it's coming nice. This is easier because then I could do the right thing, even though I thought that I wasn't
money
able
that
to.
I owed. You know, it was $75 to go get a concert ticket to Pink Floyd concert. They wanted
Oh, good. Oh, right. And you did make certain payments, sir.
It wasn't even payments. It's something that I gave. That's what my heart wanted to do. You know? I mean, it's only money. It's only a piece of paper.
How much does he still owe on the credit cards?
He paid $300. What was the total? It was
$3,900.
$39.92.61 minus $300, I guess.
Now, that includes $1,500, over $1,500 in ATM cash advances to him.
Right.
What was that for?
For when he needed tires for his car, and I did give him my ATM card.
Just a sec. I have a hook to hang my robe on because he did make certain payments, which acknowledges the fact that they were loans.
Right.
Okay. So because he used you, there's no question about that. However, I wouldn't say anything to me if I were you, sir. You have to prove to me that there was an understanding, clear contract when he said to you, I'm taking out this money and I will pay you back. Did that happen?
Yes.
That's
$1,573. I can't wash your mouth out with soap, sir, but I certainly can take care of it financially. You owe her $3,692.61. That's the most expensive curse word you're ever going to say. That's all! Out!
Step out. The back door to your right.
I fell for his scam. He's been doing it a lot more longer than I have, and you know, I cared for him. I cared for the family, you know, and I had a good time with you guys.
It wasn't a scam.
You know,
it wasn't a scam.
And now the next case.
Party's on Mazer versus Woodbridge. Step forward.
21-year-old student Matthew Mazer says his father's former live-in girlfriend, Pamela Woodbridge, illegally evicted him after his father went to jail.
How old are you, Mr. Mazer?
21.
When did you turn 21?
April 30th.
Now, in May of this past year, you were living with the defendant, correct? And you were living there with your father.
Yes.
And your father and the defendant were engaged to be married or living together. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
What were you doing with yourself in May, sir?
I was beginning to go to college at that time.
What do you mean beginning to go to college? Who begins to go to college in May?
No, I was going to go through summer courses.
That starts in June or July.
Well, registration's in May, though.
That's not a major effort, sir. That's not doing much, going to register for school. It's not necessarily a full-time job. What were you doing with yourself in May?
Nothing at that time.
What were you doing in April?
Well, nothing at that time either, ma'am.
Well, let's try March. What were you doing with yourself in March?
Nothing, preparing to go to school. I was...
You mean getting into the thinking mode? Is that what you're trying to tell me, Mr. Mazur? All right. All this has a purpose, sir. You're suing the defendant because in May, according to both of you, your father got arrested, taken off to jail, leaving you living with a perfect stranger. Right?
No, we lived together for 8 months prior to that.
8 months, a lifetime.
We were pretty close. Well, they went out for 2 years before that.
But you were living with them for 8 months.
Yeah.
And your father was, I assume, contributing to the household. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
It's a two-bedroom
Yes.
apartment.
Yes.
So after your father was arrested, you were still living there. You are suing her for $4,000. You say she illegally evicted you from the apartment, and she kept your furniture that you bought.
That's correct. It was bought for me by my father.
It was bought and for you. You
Yes.
better get, before you go to college, you better brush up on your English. It's bought for you by your father. Now, what did you expect her to do, Mr. Mazur, when the person who was contributing to half the rent, I assume, half the utilities, is hauled off to jail, leaving her with a total biological stranger to support? Because you're on your way preparing yourself for college. What'd you expect her to do?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I got steroid psychosis because they tried to put me in remission. So I went crazy, and David kind of came into my life, and I didn't know he was a con artist.
Real people. Judge Judy. Matthew Mazur claims his father's former live-in girlfriend, Pamela Woodbridge, illegally evicted him.
Who are you?
I'm his father.
Terrific. Step up here. Mr. Mazur, how did you expect this lady to take care of business when you were arrested? What were you arrested for?
I wasn't actually arrested. I was taken into custody by the parole department based on some facts that the sheriff's department gave them, which
So
to
you were
date
on
they
parole.
never even filed on.
So you were taken into custody on parole violation.
Right.
Did you spend any time in jail, sir?
Yes, I did.
How much time?
6 months.
What arrangements did you make with the defendant to support the household while you were in jail?
None. It was paid for through the first of the following month, and I didn't anticipate staying in jail very long.
Okay. So she told you that you had to find another place to live because she needed a roommate who could afford to pay at least half the rent.
That's correct.
Sounds right to me.
He was on the lease.
Who put your name on the lease?
She did.
Did you put his name on the lease?
He's listed on the lease as a minor.
Let me ask you this question. How long were you living in this apartment?
I moved in on November 10th of 1996.
And when did he move in?
He moved in, I couldn't
At
put
the
him
same
on the
time.
lease. Right.
Shh. At the same time.
But I couldn't put on the lease because David has been to prison 2 or 3 times for credit card fraud, and so his credit is ruined.
Now, this young man moved in with you later.
No, at the
No,
same
he
time.
did move in at the same time as
So
well.
you all moved into this apartment together.
Right.
Okay. Mr. Mazur, I assume you moved into this apartment and your arrangement was, because you told me that you did, that you were going to pay the expenses on the apartment. You paid the rent, you paid the utilities, correct? Right? That was your arrangement with this lady. Where had you lived before?
I had a house in Dana Point, and in 1995, I got multiple sclerosis, and my husband of 11 years divorced me. And anyway, to make a long story short, I got steroid psychosis because they tried to put me in remission. So I went crazy, and David kind of came into my life, and I didn't know he was a con artist. He has scammed me out of $180,000. And I have my credit report right here to show.
The question that I'm asking you, and that's all very interesting, went out and bought a futon.
Right.
Is that the only piece of furniture that was bought specifically for Mr. Mazur Jr.?
Yes.
Okay. Now, there are other items. What other items, sir, do you say were bought by your father for you?
Not really any other furniture, just a couple tables and...
Tables?
Just,
What
yeah,
tables?
just like end tables.
End tables? What end tables? Talk to me.
His mother took those.
What end tables?
They're just glass end tables, brass.
That your father bought for
Brass
his
and glass.
20-year-old son?
No, those were mine when I brought them there.
Okay, so where are they?
His mother took them. She came and picked up his things.
Except the futon.
Exactly.
Which you paid
Which
for.
I sold.
Which you sold.
Right.
And which was on your credit card.
Yes, ma'am.
Or on a joint credit card.
Right.
Which he wasn't paying from jail.
Right.
Good.
Excuse me, the insurance was paying for it. When she came down with MS, the insurance picked up all the bills. She virtually had no bills, with the exception of the rent.
So just a minute. Why should she have any bills? That wasn't your arrangement. Mr. Mazur.
But there
your
is an eviction process you go through in the state of California. You just don't throw somebody out and lock them out.
Where's his mother?
My mother, I can't live with her. She has cats, and I'm fatally allergic to them. So I can't live with my mother.
Your mother has cats, sir?
Yeah.
I have no more time. This lawsuit is nonsense. Case is dismissed. Who are you?
I was his girlfriend at the time, and he did have a job when he moved there.
I was invited by them to go to school. That's why I went there. And they didn't have the money at the time to pay for me to go to school.
Mr. Mazur, it's not her fault that your father violated his parole and served 6 months. She doesn't have to support you, sir. She's got enough trouble of her own.
That.
Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
It was a cold thing what she did to me. She threw me on the streets knowing I had no place to go. I mean, it was a really hard thing for me to deal with. I had to come up with nothing. I mean, I had half my clothes, nothing else. That's all I had when she threw me on the streets.
I had to rent that room out because it's called survival.
Your Honor, this is case number 315 on the calendar in the matter of Davenport versus Agatep. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated.
Miss Davenport, the defendant in this case was the companion of your father, who died recently.
Right.
And he died recently without a will.
Right.
Your complaint is that the defendant took money out of a checking account that was your father's.
Correct.
And that money rightfully belongs to his heirs, in this case you, and whatever siblings you have, because if you die without a will, under the laws of this jurisdiction, your children inherit. That's your position.
Correct.
And it's your position that her father, with whom you lived for how long?
8 years.
Wanted you to have that money. You consider yourself his common-law wife.
Well, right, yeah, in a way, yes.
Before I get to the actual dollars in this case, which really aren't a lot, according to what I see here, you say that there was about $6,000.
A little over that when my father passed away.
When he died, and that there was some $3,000 left in the account that you did, in fact, take.
My sister went and closed the account out because she lived by the bank, right?
So that at this point, according to your complaint, at most, the defendant owes you $3,000.
Right.
Correct?
I don't owe her anything.
Just a second. I understand
Sorry.
your position. And your position was that there was more money in that account and that Ernest wanted you to have that money.
Yes, he did.
Okay. My primary concern, Miss Davenport, quite frankly, is with you, after reading your complaint. Because neither the complaint nor the answer told me how long the defendant lived with your father.
Okay.
But it was a long time.
Yes.
Your father died of cancer.
Yes, he did.
How long was he ill?
Probably really ill for the last 6 months. He wasn't, fortunately, it went fairly fast for,
No, he was ill for 9 months.
Well,
and the last month was really tough
Nobody ever
on him.
disputed that.
Miss Davenport, you just said to her, nobody ever disputed that.
She did take care of my father.
I, quite frankly, am at a loss, then, why you're here and why you've pursued this lawsuit.
Because if she had asked for the money or something, it would have been, we probably would have given it to her. My father left her a $10,000 life insurance policy. He left her a paid-for house, and my father told me not too long before he died that between the money in his checking account, his stocks, and his profit sharing stuff was all supposed to be split up between his children. And he asked me to make sure that it got done and that there was no arguing about it, and now I'm in court.
So your father had some stocks. How much money in stocks did he have?
He had 506 shares of stock worth probably $32 to $34 a share.
Which, worth what?
It's between $32 and $34 a share.
What were his total assets?
$40,000 maybe.
$40,000. And how many siblings are there?
5.
Okay. During the last 6 to 9 months, when your companion was ill and you were caring for him, how many times then, not counting Ms. Davenport, did the other 4 children come down and say to you, you're taking care of him, I know he's very sick, we'd like to help you out for a day to give you a chance to get out, we'll take care of him for a weekend? How many times did the other 4 do that?
None.
All right, I believe that.
None.
I believe that. Now, Ms. Davenport, you tell me, how many times did you go there and care for him for more than a day?
For more than a day?
More than a day.
More than a day, I couldn't.
What do you mean you couldn't?
I lived a long ways away, and I have a small child at home. I went down there probably, I think, 4 times in 6 months before he passed away.
Then, Ms. Davenport, let me tell you this. This is not going to be a very long case. As far as I'm concerned, you ought to lean over and kiss both of her hands and her feet, because she took care of your father. She showered him. She made sure he got to the bathroom. She washed him.
Yes, she did.
Quiet. She fed him. She made sure that he was taken care of, something that if she wasn't around, either his children would have had to do, and had to do something about taking care of your children and your small children and your brothers and sisters, their jobs and everything else, or you would have had to have put him in some sort of an institution, which would have cost money, probably more than your $40,000 that you got, or you would have had to have paid somebody substantially more than $3,000 over 6 months to take care of him. Now, something that you said really irritates me. And what you said to me was, if she would have asked us, we would have given it to her. She didn't have to be asked to take care of your father. She took care of your father. She didn't have to be asked to take him to the bathroom.
Can I say something yet?
Just a second. She took him there. So, and we're not talking about your entire inheritance of $40,000. What your complaint is, Miss Davenport, is that for a period of immediately before and immediately after his death, she went to the bank and withdrew at $300 increments half, you say half, of what was in that account, which was $3,000. So I, quite frankly, don't understand you at all. You couldn't get a nurse for $3,000 a month to take care of a critically ill cancer patient at home. So now that I've said my piece, you can say yours.
Thank you. For one, if anybody had asked, my father told me didn't want anybody down there trying to take care of him. If anybody had asked, I would have come down there. Like I said, if she had no right to go in there. If he had wanted her to have that money, why didn't she just go in there and take it all out of the bank at once? Why did she have to go in there?
She could have.
10 days in a row and take it out of an ATM machine instead of going into the bank and getting the money out? If that was money was meant for her, that money was not meant for her.
What I'm telling you, you're not following what I'm saying to you. Unfortunately, when parents either get old or, unfortunately, if they become seriously ill, usually, if there is no spouse, children bear the burden of taking care of their parents.
That's right.
And they have to turn their lives upside down, usually, in order to do that. That means that if you have a young child, and if you want to take care of your responsibility to your father, that means that you find a babysitter for your child, you move into his home, you care for him. You didn't have to do that. And your 4 brothers and sisters, well, what are we going to do? Just leave him there to languish? Who was going to feed him?
He was only bedridden like that at the very end.
What's the very end? A month?
For a month, yes, probably.
Well, let's say a month, madam. Who was going to take care of him for a month?
If he would have let me, I would have, but he wouldn't let me.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
You yourself in your complaint says he was a very difficult man.
Yes, he was.
Very difficult, hard to get along with.
And later today,
according to your papers, your wife was leading you on and then tossing you out. Right?
Yes.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Gina Davenport is suing her deceased father's common-law wife, Cleta Agatep, because she took money out of his checking account. Cleta claims the money was rightfully hers.
You took money out of this ATM.
Yes, I did.
How much money did you take out?
I don't, about $1,500.
Now, you have a counterclaim here, which I assume that you filed after they filed their suit.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
All right. Now, you understand that because you were not legally married to him, under the laws of the state, because he died without a will, legally, you're not entitled to his money. You understand that?
Okay.
But he did provide for you in other ways. He left a life insurance policy for you?
$10,000.
Okay. So the only thing she says she took out of that joint account was $1,500, and there is at least $3,000 left, which you did, in fact, take. So I don't think that she stole anything because, in my judgment, she had access to that account clearly through your father, who gave her both his ATM card and his PIN number, which means he gave her total access to that money. More important, there's a moral issue here, Miss Davenport, that I, quite frankly, am at a loss for. You seem like an intelligent woman. And an intelligent woman who was able to sleep in her own bed at night with her child next to her and not have to nurse a terminally ill cancer patient who was her father for either a month or 6 months or 9 months shouldn't be standing in a court trying to recoup from his longtime companion, who lovingly cared for him until the end, $3,000 or $1,500. You should say, I'm really grateful that somebody who cared for my father, because you yourself in your complaint says he was a very difficult man.
Yes, he was.
Very difficult, hard to get along with. So here you have somebody who took care of you, a very difficult, hard to get along with, terminally ill father, and you're here over pennies. Well, I'm here to tell you, your case is dismissed. I'm also here to tell you that you're not entitled to any more than what you got. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Out the back door to your right.
And now the next case.
Parties on Thomas versus Simonetta. Step forward, please.
25-year-old mechanic Christopher Thomas is suing 34-year-old Stephen Simonetta for assault. Christopher claims the fight started because he is romantically involved with Stephen's estranged wife.
Mr. Thomas, you are living with the defendant's soon-to-be ex-wife.
Yes, Your Honor.
How long was he separated from his wife?
I think it was a couple of months.
And do you know how long they were married?
9 years.
You have children?
Yes, 2.
And they live with your wife?
With her, yeah.
And she was living with him?
Yes.
Okay. Where did this assault take place, sir?
In our home.
You were living with his wife and their 2 children in her home?
Yes.
That she used to share with him?
They never shared it.
They never lived there together?
I think maybe a total of 1 week.
So the assault took place in the home. Tell me about it.
I got off work and I went in the bedroom to take off my work clothes and change. And I heard the defendant and walk in and...
Is your girlfriend?
Yes.
His wife?
Yes. And he started arguing with my witness, Christy. And then he comes storming in the bedroom and shut the door behind him and threatened me and told me that I had to leave out of the house and asked me if I was going to move out. Then stormed in, got him outside, and they were leaving. And then he came running back in the house, and he goes, hit me. And I said...
He said to you, hit me?
Yes. And I didn't answer him, and the next thing I know, Christy's helping me up off the floor.
Now, Mr. Simonetta?
Simonetta.
Mr. Simonetta, you, sir, don't deny that you hit him.
No, I don't. In self-defense, I didn't just run in the house and start hitting on him, no.
According to your papers, your wife was leading you on and then tossing you out. Right?
Yes.
And according to you, in your answer, when this gentleman went off to jail for a period of time, and your wife is a little bit lonely because he's not around. Is that what happened, Mr. Simonetta?
Yes.
So she gives you a call one night. I mean, that's not all in here. I'm just sort of putting it together. So she gives you a call and says, I miss you, honey, come home.
Well, we were trying to get resolved, being he was out, and we could get established our relationship back together, being there was nobody around to interfere with it. And
That's what was in your head.
Yes.
But clearly it was not in your wife's head.
No.
Right?
Right.
She just didn't like to be alone for that couple of months.
Apparently, yeah, yes.
Because as soon as he came out of jail...
The day before, I got a restraining order and kicked right back out.
Right. And then you were really mad. Mr. Simonetta, just look at me.
Yes,
sir.
I was mad.
You were really, really mad. Now, I don't tell you didn't have a right to be mad.
Yeah.
You just got mad at the wrong person. You understand that? It's easier to blame him, maybe. The truth of the matter is, he probably didn't like the idea that she was playing both guys any more than you did. He didn't know.
He didn't know.
So if he didn't know, then he couldn't have been playing it. It was all
He didn't know until later on into the relationship when I ended up just discussing this and confronting him with it.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
You're not following me, sir. What are you, thick?
Yes, you're right. I was sleeping in the house. The kids were waking up to me, yes.
And sometimes they wake up and find him sleeping in the house with their mother, right?
Apparently, yes.
Mr. Simonetta,
I understand.
I want you to look at me now, and you tell me how it happened.
The day, a week before it happened, we were going to get together and go to the house and see what happened, what was going to, go on, whether they were playing roommate or boyfriend and girlfriend or what, I didn't know. She was telling me all through this that it was a platonic boyfriend, platonic, just a roommate setup. Yeah, and I was stupid. Me fell into the whole the game, into believing it. We made a date. We was going to go up to the house, see the kids, talk about what was going to go on. He was supposed to be there. I told her on the way up there I was going to confront him, ask him if anything was going on. Was it a roommate thing or a boyfriend-girlfriend thing? I walked into the house. I went into the back room. I was with the kids for a minute. I went into the back half of the house. He was in there. I stood in the doorway. I started talking to him. She was there also.
What did you say to him when you started talking to him?
I said, so are you guys still got a relationship going on or what? She came up and started saying something. I walked into the room. I shut the door behind me. I said, are you sleeping with her? He said, yes. I opened the door back up. I said, are you sleeping with her? And he said, yes. She heard him say it. I said, there it is there. I turned and walked out the house. I said, it's through. I walked out the house. I got out to the curb. I thought about losing my kids. The family was dead. I didn't want to, it started eating at me. I ran back into the house. He was in the corner of the kitchen. I said, you ruined my life. He went like this, and I clocked him. He hit the ground. I turned around and walked out of the house, and that was my story. That was it.
Mr. Simonetta,
yeah.
Everything that you said to me, I'm sympathetic about. Other than the fact that you hit him. Because your kids were home.
My kids were outside when it happened.
Kids were home.
Okay.
I mean, I don't understand the kind of environment these children are growing up in anyway. One night you're sleeping in the house, one night he's sleeping in the house.
No,
one night she's sleeping in the house with him, one night he's sleeping in the house.
Place.
What?
I had my own house.
But you did sleep in that house. You told me for a while.
I came back to the house when he left for 2 weeks.
I
the day before
understand. So the kids...
I had my own apartment at that time.
You're not listening to me, Mr. Simonetta. The kids are waking up seeing, for 2 weeks, according to you, you sleeping in the house?
It was going to work out. Yes, you're right.
You're not following me,
yes.
sir. What are you, thick?
Yes, you're right. I was sleeping in the house. The kids were waking up to me, yes.
And sometimes they wake up and find him sleeping in the house with their mother, right?
Apparently, yes.
And sometimes, according to you, your kids wake up and find him sleeping with her,
yes.
According to you?
Mm-hmm.
This is some atmosphere for children to grow up in.
Yes, yes.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
They had no right to hit him, Mr. Simonetta. You got to pay for it. Where are your medical bills?
Your Honor.
What?
He also, at my prior house, let's see, he came through the door looking for me, and I was not there, and he assaulted and busted up some furniture.
Who cares about that? What does that have to do with this case?
I was just letting you know that this ain't the first time that he was wanting to threaten me and hurt me.
Let me explain something to you, sir. This is some piece of work. Now, she's not here today to defend herself to any of this, right? But what I'm hearing, and I believe him because he pretty much almost admitted to me that whatever he did, he shouldn't have done. He assaulted you, and I'm going to give you money for that. I'm going to give you what you're asking for, in all probability. Well, your medical bills, at $850, and all you're asking for is $1,200. Is that right?
Yes.
You're entitled to that. He had no reason to hit him, Mr. Simonetta. And the fact that he's only suing you for $1,200 to me is very interesting, because really, you know, he was injured. You injured him, clocked him.
Yep.
He passed out.
Yeah.
Do it again. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,200 as requested. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
She's spineless, and she's with him, and it's a big old threesome house game that they got going on. And it's just a big old game they got going on.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Busby versus Landfear. Step forward, please.
27-year-old telemarketer Larry Busby is suing 40-year-old tattoo artist Bill Lamphere for the cost of a tattoo and for the cost of its removal.
Mr. Busby, do not get too comfortable, sir. This case is not going to take that long.
Okay.
According to your complaint, you went to the defendant to have a tattoo put on your arm of your girlfriend.
Correct.
He put the tattoo on your arm. According to you, it was a terrible job. You went someplace else and had the other arm tattooed, same girlfriend. Is that right?
Yes.
You want the defendant to pay not only what you paid him to tattoo your arm because you didn't like the job, but you want him to pay the cost of having the tattoo surgically removed.
Yes, that's correct.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Step up, sir. Let me see the tattoo that the defendant put on your arm.
This is it right here.
Okay. Now let me see the tattoo that, and her name is Silly?
No, that's just what I call her. It's like a nickname. And both tattoo artists, they use the same.
Don't speak to me, just show me.
Okay.
And there's Silly Girl.
Right.
Okay, so we have one silly. Now let me see the other one. One silly and one silly girl.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Step back, sir. Tattooing, excuse me, Mr. Lamphere, I think it's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard of. All right, people.
I make a good living at it.
I understand that, especially if somebody tattoos a picture of a girlfriend or a girlfriend's name on an arm. I mean, marriages don't last. 50% of people get divorced first time, 40% the second time. They put the names of the girlfriend. They all want to have it taken off. The second wife doesn't like the first wife's name staring at her in the middle of the night, you know. Well, that's stupidity. Not only didn't you put a name, you put a whole picture on there. And not everything is the same. It's an art form. It's not going to be exactly a picture. It's going to be a rendition of a picture. Even if you stay together, she's going to get older. And your skin is going to change. Do you know what happens to your skin sometime? As you get older, Mr. Busby, what happens is the skin gets a little flabby. So her face may not change, but your arm is going to get a little droopy. And believe me, sir, 20 years from now, those pictures are going to look very, very different on your arm.
Well, ma'am, if I can just explain that the fact I want a tattoo of the way she looks now, I understand, you know, she's going to age and things are going to look different, but I want something
and
the
your
way she
arm
looks
is going to
now.
age, sir.
Right, I understand that, ma'am. The main point is that I took this picture right here that I had blown up, this picture right here, to both tattoo artists, okay? And I understand there's a certain amount of freedom that each artist has for their artistic freedom. And I can even point out in this tattoo right here that, you know, it's a different necklace. The hair's got a few different waves in it, you know, and I'm not trying to be like a complete perfectionist. Like the nose is a little too big there, but that's not a big deal. I'm not like that strict about being perfection. But I mean, like these two, it's no resemblance at all to her. I carried in a stack of photographs like this.
Mr. Busby, sometimes you go get your hair done. You go to a very, very famous hairdresser, and they color your hair, if one does that, and they cut your hair, and it comes out terrible. You hate it. You don't go back to them. You don't go back. This is a very subjective thing you have on your arm, sir.
But I made it clear to him that I wanted, I guess why I used so many different pictures, I wanted to have a strong resemblance to her. And this tattoo does not resemble her at all. It looks like Linda Blair from The Exorcist. I went in there, I told him, I said, this is my girlfriend.
It doesn't look like Linda Blair. It looks lovely. And maybe if this relationship doesn't work out, you'll find somebody who more closely resembles your right arm. Now, If you go to a tattoo artist who is not taking the photograph, it's a rendition, it's a picture of somebody. Why somebody would want to have that done, I have no clue to begin with. It's not a photograph. It's a picture. It's his sense of what it is. And maybe he's a lousy tattoo artist. But you don't sue for that, sir. And I certainly, after I had one experience that didn't turn out the way I liked it, wouldn't have gone to somebody else and had the other arm tattooed. Oh. To make a long story short, sir, you now have 2 tattoos. If you want to have one taken off, take it off. He's not paying for it. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye.
Parties are excused. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Mr. Walker, you and the defendant had a relationship of sorts. You have a child together, and according to you, she filed an application for an order of protection against you in which she made some false allegations. You want to be compensated for the false allegations, time away from work, your humiliation, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
The defendant says that what she says was true, that she was not granted ultimately an order of protection after a trial because there wasn't enough evidence, and that she is counterclaiming because she says that you have filed numerous reports about her with Child Protective Services and the police, and they were all lies. So she's counterclaiming. Okay. How old is your child?
She's 8 years old.
Did the 2 of you ever live together?
No.
Do you have visitation regularly with your daughter?
Yes.
So when was the last time you saw your daughter?
I saw her the Saturday before Father's Day, the last time I saw her.
Why is that?
I live 2.5 hours away, and I drive up there to see my daughter. And until that, I won the case on April 24th because she had filed order of protection through her allegations of me harassing her. She would not let me see my daughter, and they gave her an order of protection.
Ms. Cowley, I want you to tell me why you filed an application for an order of protection.
Because he harassed me on the phone.
Well, tell me what he did.
He called me on my phone at one time. He told me, "You owe me." That was in November of 2001.
When did you file an application for an order of protection?
After the second harassment on the phone, which was in September 18th of 2002.
So a year later, he did something else to you. And what did he do a year later?
He called me on the phone and told me that he called the police and they were coming to get me and he was coming to take my daughter. So I got tired of that and
Just a second.
Okay.
Did he tell you why?
Yes, he told me I was a drug dealer.
That was on September 18th?
Well, September 16th, and I filed the papers on September 18th.
I'd like to see the papers that you filed.
Yes.
And that's what he said to you, Ms. Cowley.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
That he's tired of dealing with you, that you were a drug dealer, he called the police, and he's going to come and take your daughter from you.
Exactly.
Okay, so now let me see the application that you filed. Let me see it, please. It doesn't say anything about that in your application for an order of protection, Ms. Cowley. It says that on or about September 17th, this is what you say in your petition. You say that he arrived at your home at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. He wanted to see his daughter, and he made belittling remarks about you in front of your daughter. He called you a stupid... You didn't say that just now. You told me a different story. You told me he called you on the phone.
He did.
Well, that doesn't say that here.
Yeah.
What do you mean, yeah?
That's when I went down to car and we had to go back to court.
Are you not following what I'm saying to you? I asked you, why did you feel as if you were in fear of the petitioner so that you should file a petition for an order of protection? You told me about 2 dates. You told me about November of 2001 and September 16th, 2002, both of which were telephone calls. That's what you told me.
Well, I had been upset because he called me quite a few times, and when he came to visit my daughter, he had sent the police to my house. And what made me fear him is because he told me he had a gun in his car under his front seat. He told me about how he was going to hurt his first children's mother, and that's what made me feel as though I had to file an order of protection against him.
And the judge threw out the case?
Yes.
Rightly so. You're giving me a lot of who shot John. You abused the system. You were getting even with him for something. Is there a case involving custody and visitation in 2002?
Yes.
May I speak?
Yes.
In the 2002 custody case, I went for custody of my daughter. She has a 26-year-old son there who sells drugs. I tried to get custody of my daughter due to that issue right there. He's been in boot camp, and he's also been in jail for selling drugs. When he was 16, I asked her to let me put her son in the Job Corps. She says no. I said, you'd rather have your son selling drugs than be in a Job Corps? And she actually said, I'd rather have him here. I said, but he's selling drugs. 2 weeks later, he got busted because it was a shootout.
Mr. Walker,
and what happened
to the custody case?
She never even showed up to court. Here's the paper right here. I highlighted it for you. She never even showed up to court. It's right there. And the order, it's right in the order. And
just a minute. I assume that the law guardian advised the judge that the child should remain with her mother. Is that right?
Yes, but there's some extreme circumstances that I need to clear up. I was a paralegal for this responsible fatherhood program. I caught a judge in Rochester lying on me, and a deputy chief clerk, and also a cop lying on me. So I filed with the FBI, the Inspector General's office, and 3 other federal agencies. And it's like a blacklist on me. That's why I moved away from Rochester to Elmira, because they put like a blacklist on me in regards to employment in Rochester due to me catching this judge lying on me. They used her as a tool to get after me. I've never threatened her. She knows I never did anything to her.
For the first 6 years of your daughter's life, did you have regular visitation?
Yes, I did. And her son was in jail. When he got back out of jail, I drove up to her house, and she lives in an area where they sell drugs right at the street corner. I'm looking at him coming off the street corner selling drugs. I tried to get my daughter out of it.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I believe that your son has been in serious difficulty involving drugs.
He wasn't, though, Judge Judy.
I don't believe you, madam.
Does he have police records?
I don't believe you.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Donnell Walker says the mother of his child, Sharon Cowley, filed false charges with the police. Sharon says he threatened to use a gun.
All right. I think that she lied in order to get an order of protection, sir. I do.
Judge Judy, may I speak, please?
Sure.
Now, he knows that I'm not lying. What made me fear him the most, he hit a policeman's son in the face with a basketball.
What does that have to do with you?
It made me nervous because he kept coming to my house threatening me.
Listen to me. Miss Cowley, I was very, very clear, madam. I said to you, when you filed your application for an order of protection, you filed it for reasons. I want you to tell me the reasons that you filed a petition for an order of protection. And you said 2 things. One happened in November of 2001, and that was a phone call. And the next thing that happened was another phone call where he said to you, I'm going to call the police, and I'm going to come and get my daughter. That you considered a threat. And then you add this stuff about guns. Now, to me, if I asked a person why they felt threatened, they would have said to me right away, he threatened me with a gun. That might have caught my attention, but that's not what you said. Right. So I believe that you were using the court system, which fortunately did not grant you an order of protection, because I think if you had an order of protection against him, you would have abused it. And I'm awarding him $1,000 on his application. Now I'm going to hear your cross-complaint.
Okay.
You say he's called the police on you and your family on numerous occasions.
Yes.
Okay? Tell me about that, Miss Cowley.
Okay. Okay, Judge Judy, now, the 3 times that he's come to see my daughter, he's called the police on me.
What do you mean he's called the police
He's just called the police on me for nothing.
What does that mean? You mean they've come with him?
He's called them before he's come to my house.
And done what?
Tell them that I'm a drug dealer and he has to get my daughter out of the house. And he would have a problem getting her out of the house for visitation.
Are you telling me that he comes to the house with a police officer in order to pick up his daughter?
Yes.
He's allowed to do that.
What? But
he's allowed to do that because what he says is, I'm not going there without a police escort because I don't trust her.
Yes.
I don't trust her, A, not to create trouble, to say I bothered her or harassed her, and B, I don't trust her not to give me my daughter for visitation. So I'm going to ask the police to come with me. He has an absolute right to do that.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the right to harass me.
How is he harassing you? You haven't told me how he's harassing
the police there all the time for nothing when he's come before and pick her up with no problem until he had to go to court.
Give me a time when he called police when he did not come himself.
Oh, I have it marked on the calendar. He called on 3 times on me. All of these are no-shows where he did not come for his visit, starting from the beginning when we went to court.
Well, tell me what the police said when they came to your house.
When they came to the house, they came in and said that he called the police because he said gushes of marijuana smoke was coming out the door. We don't smoke in my house because my daughter has chronic asthma.
Where was your son?
He doesn't live with me.
Where was your son?
He wasn't there.
Has your son ever been incarcerated for drugs?
No, he hasn't, Judge Judy.
I don't believe that.
What?
I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
He hasn't been locked up for drugs or anything.
Really?
Really.
Never been involved with drugs?
He wasn't in drugs. He was sent to Willard for smoking drugs. That's what he wasn't. He says that he was selling drugs.
Scali, you have no case. He's entitled to say his child was not living under good circumstance.
Well,
he has an absolute right to do that. And I'm going to tell you something else. I don't know why you've waited so long, sir. I don't know what kind of investigation they did with regard to the home situation. I assume that I assume that in Monroe County, they send out an investigator to do an investigation of both homes. I can only hope it happens. But I will tell you now, this case was not heard before a family court judge. It was heard before a referee because it was a default. It was her default because she didn't show up.
Right.
Now, you have the ability to file objections to this hearing officer's report.
I will be filing it when I get back to Rochester.
Well, I suppose that's a good idea. In any event, your counterclaim is dismissed, Ms. Cowley.
Judge Judy, may I speak? This was from a judge. This is where they gave me custody of my daughter after Child Protective came out.
I'm not talking about custody of your daughter, madam. I believe that your son has been in serious difficulty with the law involving drugs, that there was drug use in the house with your daughter present. That's something that a father can be concerned. Don't say no when the answer is yes.
He wasn't, though, Judge Judy.
I don't believe you, madam.
Does he have a police record?
I don't believe you. I believe that your son was doing drugs in the house, not selling them. I didn't say selling them. You said smoking them.
Judge Judy, I have a paper right here where he accused me and my son and my daughter of being drug dealers.
Well, how do I know that's not true?
But because the Child Protective came to my house 3 unannounced times to find out if it was true.
And I want to tell you something. They couldn't find that if they came to your house 30 times to find out if you were selling drugs in your house, if you didn't want them to find out that you were selling drugs in the house. I don't want to hear it.
Judge.
Madam, he has the right, understanding that your son was a drug abuser, to question whether or not that house was a safe environment for his child. You do not have the right to, based upon the fact that you were annoyed, file an application for an order of protection without basis. You did that. I am awarding him $1,000 on his complaint, and I am dismissing your cross-complaint for him filing police reports and asking them to do an investigation as to whether or not there was drug activity in the house where his 8-year-old is living. I think that that was appropriate.
It's not
Goodbye.
true. He's a liar. If he was so concerned about me selling drugs in my house, why didn't he come visit her more often?
I had to go to court to just to see my daughter, and before I would just pick her up.
Sometimes truth doesn't really come out.
What's going to happen? My daughter's going to grow up and see for herself that her mother's a liar.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Krezakowski versus Suggs. Step forward, please.
United States Marine Joseph Krezakowski is suing his ex-girlfriend, 26-year-old lease administrator Amy Suggs, for her share of a credit card debt.
Mr. Krezakowski, you claim that the defendant, who is your former girlfriend, owes you for some credit card debt.
Yes, ma'am.
The defendant says that, yes, in fact, she did agree to pay half of the credit card debt that the two of you had accumulated while you were together. But then she had second thoughts about it after she made some payments, and she feels as if she should not have to pay that because she was sort of pressured into making the agreement. Is that your defense?
Not exactly.
Well, what's your defense?
There were extenuating circumstances when we separated, and I feel like I was taken advantage of in the situation. Not necessarily that I just decided I didn't want to make payments anymore.
Well, let's start with the fact that the two of you lived together.
Yes.
And that you had this credit card that had built up how much in debt, sir?
When we separated, it was at $6,500 and some change, ma'am.
And you agreed to split that debt in half?
Yes, ma'am, we did.
Is that correct?
Yes.
And you separated when?
About the 20th of July of 2002, ma'am, or of January.
20th of January.
Yes, ma'am.
And you did make payments up until March of 2003.
Correct.
And then stopped.
Right.
Okay, now explain why.
When we separated, I was in a situation when I was in North Carolina with my son, an 8-year-old, by myself. Joe had made reference several times to being in relationships before where everything had been taken away from him. I needed to get out of the relationship, and I was concerned that when we separated, it wouldn't be as easy as I wanted it to be. Not only was I alone in North Carolina, but I had no friends there to help me in my situation. When the discussion came up about us separating, I agreed not to take anything with me that he would have to replace, and I agreed to pay half of the credit card.
What do you mean you agreed not to take anything that he would have to replace?
Well,
what did you take with you?
I took my son's bedroom furniture, my personal belongings, my clothing, some extra dishes.
You took dishes? Go ahead. What else?
And I believe I took a hope chest, a cedar hope chest.
Anything else that you took, sir?
She took the computer and also a china hutch for the kitchen.
Does that sound familiar?
Yes, yes.
You left the computer out, and you left the china hutch out, right?
Right.
Was the computer purchased on the credit card?
It was purchased on a totally separate credit card that was already paid off by this time, ma'am.
Was anything that was taken by the defendant items that had been purchased on the credit card?
No, ma'am. Basically, the credit card was used for both our children's Christmas and birthdays and things for around the house.
Okay. You haven't convinced me so far, Miss Suggs. All I hear is a lot of excuses. You want to take one last shot?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
When we separated, majority of our furniture that we had accumulated together, we either brought into a relationship or bought while we were together. He kept all of it. I don't have anything to show for that. A few measly pieces of furniture.
Did you ask for anything else?
I wanted more things, but I wasn't in a position to ask because I was by myself. I didn't know how he would react, how he would respond.
Well, then you didn't ask for it. Then you took whatever you said you wanted.
Not only did I have to refurnish an entire apartment, I've paid him $1,300, in addition to the fact that at the time we separated, he was making probably twice as much as I was.
All of those are excuses. You were living together as a family. You had a child. Did you have children?
I have a son from a previous marriage that doesn't live with me, but he'd come and visit, ma'am.
Your son would come and visit, and your child lived with you. So you had this credit card that was used for your family. He agreed to pay for half. You agreed to pay for half. And I was right when I said later on, after you made some payments, you had second thoughts.
No, I didn't have second thoughts. All along, I felt like I had been taken advantage of.
You made the deal. Live by it. Stop being a crybaby. You made the deal. That's the deal. Stop having second thoughts about it. How come you didn't have second thoughts and say, you know, I really should give him the entire amount? How come it's always, I have second thoughts, I don't think I'm going to give him anything?
Because I didn't trust that he would leave me alone. I gave him all the furniture.
Well, that's unfortunate, madam. You haven't told me any reason why you didn't trust him. Because he had another bad relationship where he ended up on the short end of the stick financially? That was your reason? Miss Suggs, be a grown-up. You made the deal. You live by it. The check will be drawn to the card company, which will clear your credit, sir, of $2,481.65. That's all. Step out.
As I excuse, you may step out. Number 24 on the calendar in the matter of Powell versus Hughes. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats.
Mrs. Powell, which of these two young ladies is your daughter?
Carrie in the blue.
Step up, please. Carrie? Carrie, you were attacked by two dogs.
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of dogs were they?
They were pit bulls.
Were you alone?
Yes, ma'am. I was going to visit a friend.
And what happened?
I was on the left-hand side of the street, and I looked around the neighborhood to check for dogs, you know, because I'm in a strange neighborhood and I don't really know. And all of a sudden, these dogs just ran out of the yard and attacked me. And I screamed and yelled until somebody finally came out.
Who came out?
It was a man that probably lived right across Caddy Corner from where the dogs were.
And what did he do?
He threw something at the dogs, and they ran off. And he took me into his house and wrapped my arm.
Were you bitten by the dogs?
Yes, ma'am.
After he wrapped something around your arms, what did you do?
He didn't have a telephone in his house, so we walked across, probably past one house, into the next yard and used another neighbor's phone. And she phoned my mother. She phoned the police first, but they couldn't do anything, so she phoned my mother.
I was called. I had just returned home from a doctor's appointment and received a call from the lady, and she asked me to come and get my daughter because she had been attacked by two pit bulls.
And When you saw your daughter, describe what you saw.
She was bleeding and she was crying, and I got nervous, and she had blood all over her, and I brought the coat to show that she had on that the dog's attacking and still has the blood stains and
Let me see.
and the tears. It's on the sleeves and the inseam.
Did you go to the hospital?
Yes, I took her. I called my husband and told him to meet me at Methodist Hospital, and I took her to the emergency room.
Do you have the report?
Yes.
I'd like to see it, please.
And also brought pictures of their house to show they don't have a fence around their house. Yeah, and I also brought a copy of the animal controls report.
I'd like to see it. Now, you folks are the owners of the dogs?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
And you were not at home when this occurred?
No, we were both at work.
How long have you had the dogs?
Since birth.
4 years.
4 years.
I read that your dogs did not have their vaccinations. Why not?
Because basically we keep the dogs in the house.
In the house,
Or in
outside
the-
of the house? They were outside of the house. That's why you're supposed to have
And
them
we also-
inoculated.
Pardon me?
That's why you're supposed to get them inoculated. That's the law, isn't it?
Yes.
The law is that they're supposed to be vaccinated every year for rabies, right?
Right.
When was the last time you had them inoculated for rabies?
When we picked them up from animal control, that was one of their procedures. They vaccinated them and gave them a homing device.
Before that?
Well, they had shots before that.
When they were, I think, like 8 weeks old or 10 weeks old.
So they
something
haven't
like
been to a
that.
vet since?
No illnesses, no reason to
No
take
illness. You do have a reason because the law requires that they be given a shot for rabies and distemper every year. That's the law. So after this incident occurred, the dogs were taken to quarantine.
Yes.
Unfortunately for you, because you didn't have to go through the procedure of those very, very terrible shots. The dogs did not have rabies, yes.
Your Honor, I guess what she saw when she drove by our house, we don't have a fence from the driveway. Our yard is completely fenced in.
From the back.
From the back of the garage all the way around, and I've got the pictures. We do. What happens is, even though that it's fenced in, we still do not let our dogs run loose in the yard because they are pit bulls. When I came home from work Thursday evening, it was dark. It was in November. I get off work at 6:30. It's approximately 10 minutes to 7. And when I pulled up in the driveway, Valerie and China came off the porch and came up to the car.
Your two dogs?
Yes. And I was like, what's wrong with this picture? You know, something is not right here. So I got the flashlight out the back of the back seat of the car, and I let them in the front door. And then I walked around to the back apprehensively and saw that the door had been kicked in.
Does the back door open to the backyard?
Yes.
Yes.
Which is fenced in?
Yes.
Well, so what you're saying is someone tried to kick in the back door.
Right.
Your dogs got out.
Right.
But if they got out, they would have been in a fenced-in yard.
They would have been able to get out of the yard, actually. Jump the fence or whatever.
Well, that's... Put your hand down, madam, please. I see it up. If I haven't recognized you, there's a reason. Got it?
Yes.
We have a fence, but, you know, they can get out if they wanted to.
So what difference does it make if you have a fence?
Well, when we have our dogs out, they're on chains anyway, and they're not out unless we're at home, okay? And like somebody tried...
So the fence is useless?
Yeah, okay, you can say the fence is useless,
Okay.
yes.
Well, clearly the fence was useless.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still there.
But it was useless because the dogs didn't go out the front door. The dogs went out the back door, right?
With help.
And if the dogs went back the back door, then the second line of defense is a fence. They can jump over the fence, as your husband says, then the fence is useless. So it's like having no fence.
Now, if we're at work and our dogs are locked in the house and somebody attempts to break in our house, Your Honor, I mean...
Yes, Miss Hughes.
You
just a second. Your point is someone tried to burglarize your house but was not successful, didn't take anything. Your dogs got out, and there was this very unfortunate incident, and you're really not responsible. Did you notify your homeowner's insurance? Do you have homeowner's
No.
insurance? You don't have homeowner's
No.
insurance. Well, you should have homeowners insurance.
Animal control, when I got home, animal control left a thing on the doorknob. And it was very vague. It had nothing to say about, and it's right here. It had nothing to say that the dogs bit anybody or anything. You want it?
Yeah, just give him this.
Well, here, you can just have it. Here.
Thanks.
And what happened was, at this point, I'm still not even knowing that anyone was injured. I'm just finding the dogs out. So then, when my husband came home from work, the neighbor across the street said that they did bite a little girl. So I'm on the phone trying to call up animal control to get to the bottom of this and what's going on and whatever.
Mm-hmm. Animal control had came out and left that on the door. And the two dogs were right out there in the yard when they was there. Okay, and he was able to walk up, you know, from what the neighbor across the street told me. He had threw treats to him before he got out and then put the notice on the door. Okay, so before she got bit, to me it seemed like animal control should have grabbed them dogs, you know, because they weren't on the on chains or nothing like that. Not to say that they're to blame or anything like that. I'm just expressing that animal control did come when the dogs was right out there in the yard but did not take them.
It's not animal control's fault that you had not, in violation of the law, had your animals vaccinated from the time they were puppies. It's not their fault that for 10 days she had to wait to see whether or not she was going to have to go through a very painful series of shots for rabies because you had neglected to follow the law. You do not have homeowners insurance, which you should have to cover such situations, because that's why people have homeowners insurance. And bottom line is, you have somebody who's innocent, who's walking down the street, not doing anything wrong, and she is attacked by animals that you own. She has to be compensated for that because she is the innocent person. And while I'm not saying that you are guilty criminals, I'm saying guilty on this side, innocent on this side. Someone has to pay.
Basically, when you have pit bulls, because of the word, because of the word pit bulls, it's hard to get homeowners insurance. Had it been a mutt, we probably wouldn't even have been here.
Then that's what you should have. Then that's what you should have gotten.
Give it police report.
You like dogs?
I love dogs.
Oh yeah.
Okay. You don't just. I'm speaking. You don't just love pit bulls. You love dogs.
I love all dogs.
Okay.
Just like you can be a bad parent, you can be a bad pit bull owner, and we're not the ones
Listen
like
to
that.
me. There are some lovely pit bulls, I am certain. But when you use the word pit bull, it usually means people who have those dogs for protection. You chose to get a dog that has the reputation, when they bite you, they hurt you. You have to pay the consequences of that. And if you can't get, if my homeowner's insurance company said to me, we'll give you homeowner's insurance, but we're going to cut your insurance if the dogs that you choose to get are pit bulls, I would get a different variety of dog rather than not have homeowner's insurance. That's easy. Okay. What were your out-of-pocket expenses?
For Carrie's coat, I had paid $25. The emergency room was $60. The emergency room doctors to look at Carrie was $60. Clarion Health Hospital charged $132. Carrie's personal physician was $45, which was a total of $362. And then just for emotional stress and damages, that was a total of $4,638. And I also wanted to say, you know, Your Honor, those two pit bulls attacked my daughter. One had one arm and one had the other arm. And when I saw my daughter, I could have cried, and I was scared because I didn't know. I still don't know what the extent of the damage is going to be. You know, she's got scars from that. You know, so far the doctor said everything is okay, but we don't know long term.
You still have visible scars?
Yes, ma'am.
Could you step up? I'd like to see them.
My shirt is kind of... This is where the dog locked on this arm.
Here?
It locked on this one right here.
Yeah.
And then these are just where I kept trying to move my arm.
Here, here, and here?
Yes, ma'am.
And here?
Yes, ma'am.
And here?
Not too much. Just a little one right here.
Put your jacket back on. While I don't think that she's going to have any long-term problem with movement or anything else, she's fine, but she clearly is going to be permanently scarred as a result of those bites. Yeah. I do find you, Mr. and Mrs. Hughes, reasonable people, but who did an unreasonable thing. You did an unreasonable thing when you failed to have your dogs vaccinated. That was just the start. By maintaining those two dogs, you had to take into consideration that if they didn't attack somebody, they were going to hurt them. They attacked somebody who was an innocent. Had nothing to do with breaking into your house. And you anticipated that when you chose this breed of animal. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
2 vicious pit bulls on an attack. If they had been really vicious, you couldn't have stopped them.
When I got there, she had blood everywhere. Her arms were wrapped up. You know, she was crying and hysterical.
We keep them because we're in a very high crime area where they're always breaking in the house, drugs and all that.
I'm just glad it's over and I hope I never have to go through it again.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Carney versus Valles, step forward, please.
83-year-old Juanita Carney is suing her granddaughter, 35-year-old social caseworker Josephine Valles, for car repair bills. Josephine says her grandmother repossessed the car. She's countersuing for the money she put into the vehicle.
Miss Carney, the defendant is your granddaughter.
Yes, she is.
You co-signed a loan for your granddaughter to buy a car. She did not have good enough credit to take out a loan herself. You say it was your agreement with her that she would work on clearing her credit so that eventually she could put the car loan in her name. She did not do that. And a year and a half after the car was purchased, you repossessed the car. When you repossessed the car, you had it fixed, and you spent $2,779 to fix the car. You want her to pay you back for the money that you spent to fix up the car. Your granddaughter is countersuing. She wants you to reimburse her for the down payment that she put on the car, which was $1,500, and for all the payments that she made on the car during the time that she had the car. Is that right?
Yes.
When was this car purchased, Miss Carney?
January of '99.
And when did you repossess the car?
September 2000.
Who maintained insurance on the car?
She did, but she dropped it in June of 2000.
Did you drop the insurance?
Yes, I did.
Why?
Because she came and threatened to take the car from me. Because she wanted to take a loan out on her house, and she could not do that because my car payment was stopping her.
When you dropped the insurance on the car, did you continue to drive the car?
Yes.
Well, you can't do that. What kind of car was it?
It was a 98 Hyundai Elantra.
And how much was the total purchase price?
$12,092.
Did you make all the car payments on the car?
Yes, I did.
Okay, now, Miss Carney, you tell me why you repossessed the car.
During our transaction of the car, the salesman said that there was a mark in the credit report that you could not put it in her name. It had to be in my name solely. I asked her, are you willing to put it in your name once you clear up your credit? And she said yes, because one of the black thing that's on the credit is a mistake, and I can clear that, and I'll be glad to do it. And with that promise, I went ahead and allowed it to be in my name, knowing that I could be liable if anything would happen. Right before repossession, I was told that it was wrecked, and she was still driving it around. So I repossessed it. I took the car to a repair shop, and I have the receipts for both of them.
Where is the car now, Miss Carney?
I resold it. I had to fix it, and somebody else did.
Just a second. You sold it?
Yeah.
What did you sell it for?
$7,000.
Who did you sell it to?
To my daughter's friend.
She's taking over the payment. She didn't sell it. And the car was not wrecked when whoever picked it up took it.
Yes, it was.
Just a second.
There was nothing wrong with the car when it was taken from me.
Oh
I was at work, and when I went out, the car was gone. There was nothing wrong with the car.
Do you have photographs of the car when the car was taken?
No, I didn't take any. The only thing that was apparent was a broken windshield. It was cracked. But what made it so expensive is that both airbags were deflated.
Your problem is that you dropped the insurance and continued to drive in the car. And if you did that, that rendered your grandmother liable. If you had an accident and hurt somebody and the car is in her name, they can take her house, they can get a judgment against her. So in my judgment, she had an absolute right, based upon the fact that you had no insurance, even though she might not have known it at the time, to take back the car. So you acted irresponsibly. So on your counterclaim, you're getting nothing. My problem is, Ms. Carney, that you took it upon yourself to gratuitously fix this car. You can't render her liable for that. And you're not going to get any money either. Do you have a car now?
Yes, I do.
What kind of a car do you have?
A 2001 Hyundai Elantra.
How'd you get it?
I financed it in October of 2000.
So right after your grandmother took back this car? So that you could have done what your grandmother asked
Not
you to
back
do
in
in
June, I
September.
couldn't have.
Well, did you call her in August and tell her you could do it?
No, I did not.
No. Your counterclaim's dismissed. So's your lawsuit.
Now, this is case number 215 on the calendar in the matter of Warner versus Reno. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You're welcome. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Mr. Warner, you really don't know anything about this case. You are merely the owner of the car that was damaged. Is that right?
Correct.
And it's your granddaughter who was driving the car or the truck.
Correct.
So why don't you have a seat, and I'd like to see Jade Warner, please. Step up. Miss Warner, according to what I've read, you and the defendant were friends for a while, and then you had a sort of a falling out over a boy. It was your boyfriend or her boyfriend, and then it became your boyfriend. Whatever. It's nonsense. In any event, this thing culminated, according to you, when the defendant keyed your car. And you say that happened on the 19th of August.
Yes.
Where did it happen?
It happened at Holly Kellogg's house.
And what makes you think that the defendant, who denies that she did this, was involved in keying your car?
At 9:55 p.m. on August 19th, Holly called me because she needed a ride home from her work. I went up there to go pick her up, and as I was walking out with Holly, Jessica was standing by my car.
Okay, so you know Holly?
Yes.
Well, according to your answer, I read your answer, you said she was a friend of yours.
Yes.
Okay, continue.
Okay, I was leaving Coach's, and...
Coach's is what?
Holly's work. And Jessica was in a truck, a white truck, with her other friend, and they followed me from Holly's work to Holly's house, which is about 5 miles. As we went into Holly's house, I parked my car. We went in there. I was getting a couple of things out of Holly's room. Holly was closing her blinds. As she was looking in her blinds, she saw Jessica circle...
Don't tell me what she saw. Where is Holly?
Holly is right there.
Step up, please. No, you can stay.
Okay.
Right next to her. All right, so the plaintiff picked you up from work?
Correct.
Drove you home?
Correct.
You all went inside. According to the plaintiff, you observed something when you were closing the blinds when you got
Correct.
into your house. What did you observe?
As I was closing the blinds, I looked out my window and noticed there was a white truck and pulled up like closely to my driveway, and we have a security light outside that comes on and like a motion detector. And I looked out to see a like white truck with designs on the side. I noticed that it was the truck that Miss Reno had been riding in as they had followed me to my house from work.
How do you know that they had followed you home? Did you see the truck?
Yes. As I got into the car, I noticed that someone was following us closely, and I was looking behind to figure out who it was, and I noticed it was them, and I proceeded to ask Jade if they had had a problem or something, because I didn't understand why.
When you said you saw it was them, did you turn around to look in a rearview mirror?
I turned around and looked, and she had switched lanes, and so I saw that. I saw that it was completely those, Jessica and her friend in the white truck.
Okay. Now, when you got to your house, did you see the truck? Before you looked out the window?
Correct.
Did you see the truck as you pulled into...
No.
Pulled up to your truck?
As I had made a right-hand turn to turn onto one of the streets that leads me to my house, they had gone straight. As I watched them, like, speed off, I saw Jessica with her hand out the window, flipping us off, yelling something, and I didn't understand at that point what was going on, because as far as I knew, her and I had been friends.
Okay. Now you're inside the house, closing your blinds. Now you're going to tell me exactly what you saw.
Okay. As I look out my blinds, I see that there's the same white truck, which there was a driver in the car, which was Jessica's friend. Jessica was walking around Jade's car, and her hand was down here. And I was trying to figure out what was going on, and as I looked and glanced a little bit longer, I could see that she was keying her car. And I didn't want to walk outside, so I stayed inside and yelled for my mom, and my mom came out, and then I saw the truck speed off.
Then you went outside after this?
Correct.
What did you observe when you went outside?
There was key marks on my car.
Do you have photographs?
Yeah.
May I see them, please?
On the photographs, you can see the metal that has been, but it's clearly the 4 panels on each side of the car.
Certainly is. Okay. Ms. Reno, let's hear you.
Okay, I brought my friend Jessica.
Don't tell me you brought your friend. You look at me.
Okay, about 9:20, my friend had picked me up from my house. We went over to my friend Jason's house. and he wasn't there. His roommate had told us that he was going to Coach's to have dinner with his family and then going to Sharky's to play pool. So we went over to Coach's, and there we had seen Jade, and well, actually we saw her car after we came out. And I had wondered how she got in because she's not even 18. So I had asked someone that was in her car if she was coming to hang out or whatever, you know, and how she got in because she's not 18. And she said that they were here to pick up Holly. And I was like, oh, okay, I want to see Holly because me and Holly are friends. So she came after she had said that. She came outside, and Holly said hi, and we gave each other a hug, and then we proceeded on about our night. They got in their car, they left, we got in the truck, we left. We followed them to about Avenue L. They turned right, and we turned left. We proceeded to go to Sharky's, which is a pool hall, to look for my friend, and he wasn't there, and so we just proceeded to go to Jessica's house, which we were there by 10 o'clock.
Now, who were you with that night?
Jessica.
Jessica, what's her last name?
Pavovarov.
Is that you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Step up. Do you know Holly?
No, Your Honor, I don't. I met her just briefly at a party they had at their house.
Do you know Jade?
I met Jade before. She spent the night at our house when she was 14 years old.
How long ago was that?
Almost two and a half, Your Honor.
Were you driving a white truck that night?
Yes, I was.
Does the white truck have any markings on it?
It has a big dent in the side, and it has pinstriping on it.
You yourself have never had a falling out with Miss Warner,
No,
is that right?
no.
But you know that Miss Reno has had some problems with her.
Well, from what I knew, they were friends, and I don't know what happened between them. They just stopped hanging out.
Okay. Now, you heard Holly tell me that at some point when the cars separated, after she was picked up from work, that Miss Reno gestured out her car window to their car and said something. Did you hear that?
No, Your Honor. What's funny is from where they live and where we live and all the way to Sharky's, it's totally the distance. We're going the opposite way. And we have a map right here that shows that it's the opposite way. And my mom was at home when we got there, and we got there, it was before even 10. So if this happened at, what, 9:55, when this supposedly happened, then there's no possible way because we were at home.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
The cops went to the house, and Jade had said that Jessica had keyed Jade's car. And then we got another call, and Jessica's car had been egged with 82 eggs.
That's more information than I asked for.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 16-year-old Jade Warner says former high school friend, 18-year-old Jessica Reno, keyed her grandfather's car.
Okay. What time that evening did you get picked up at work?
About 10:15. I hadn't clocked out till 10:12 that evening.
And how long does it take you to get home?
Takes me about 10 minutes.
So you were at home by 10:30?
Correct.
And it's your statement that you were in your house at 10:30?
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to hear from your mother.
That's good.
Your Honor.
Your last name?
Pavovarov.
Do you recall the evening of August 19th?
Yes, I do.
How do you recall that evening?
Because Jessie had come home from San Diego to visit her friend, and I had gone to bed early because I was very tired, and I have a little dog that sleeps with me, and just before 10 it started barking and woke me up, and I had seen my clock on the end table, and it's a digital, but I only could see the first number, and it was 9 something. Because the first digit of the clock I could see, and I had my Bible and my book studies on my stand, and it was covering the last couple numbers. And I tried to quiet my dog down, and she wouldn't relax, so I finally got up, and the girls were in the kitchen talking and snacking. So I sat up until probably about 12 o'clock that night with them talking. So they were in, I would say, at least a couple minutes before 10.
Were you contacted by the police that night?
I wasn't, but I was there when Jessica Reno's mom, Pat, called the house and said the police had been at her house. I was sitting at the table with the girls when they called. And the police had asked, I believe, my address and stuff, but they never did come over.
Approximately what time did you receive that phone call?
12:30.
No.
I don't know. I don't even know what time it was. Probably 11:30, 12. I don't know.
And you stayed downstairs with them the entire evening?
Yeah, until I went to bed, and it was after 12, and I finally went to bed, and then they were still up talking.
Were you there when the phone call came in from Jessica's mother?
Yes, I was.
Did you speak to Jessica's mother?
I don't think I did.
Well, let me ask you this question. Clearly, when her mother called, she said something about the police wanting to speak to Jessica.
Well, my daughter answered the phone.
When the phone rang and it was Jessica's mom on the phone, what did she say to you?
She said, I need to speak with Jessica. And I said, okay. And then Jessica started talking to her mom, and she's like, what? What are you talking about? You know?
So there came a time, I assume, when Jessica got off the phone with her mom. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And did she tell you what had happened?
Yes.
What did she say during the course of the conversation with you about the conversation she had with her mother?
She said that the cops went to the house and they said that Jade had called the cops and said that Jessica had keyed Jade's car. And then we got another call later saying Jessica's car had been egged with 82 eggs, and it's a coincidence that Jade's car got keyed and Jade thought it was Jessica, so all of a sudden Jessica's car got egged with 82 eggs and the house.
Just a second, I'm not finished.
Yes, ma'am.
That's more information than I asked for. Now, you got off the phone with Jessica's mom. The police were looking for her. Is that right? That's what your mother told you?
Yes.
And you knew that your daughter and Jessica had been out together that night?
That's right, Your Honor.
And then you went to bed?
Right.
You didn't call back Jessica's mother?
No.
You weren't concerned that if they were looking for Jessica about something that happened that night, perhaps your daughter was involved?
Because,
No, I'm just asking you. You weren't concerned that if the police were looking for your daughter... Let me finish. You weren't concerned that if the police were looking for Jessica because of an incident that happened that night, because I assume they got off the phone and told you what the police were looking for her for,
yes,
right?
Your Honor.
And I assume that you knew that the two girls were together.
That's right.
So it would seem logical to me as a parent that you would want to get this information about where these two girls were accused of being that night, at least from her mother, not from what she's reporting to you. But you went to bed.
Yes, because Mrs. Reno had talked to the police.
How do you know that?
Because she said the police had been at her house.
Right.
Had been at her
That's
house.
what I'm saying. But Jessica reported that to you,
Right.
correct?
Right.
Jessica's reporting all of this to you about the conversation.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So Jessica's reporting about the conversation to you. And you as a parent of a young girl, knowing that they're out together that night, don't pick up the phone to call the other mother? You went to sleep?
No, because she told Jessica the cops had been there. The incident happened after 10, and I knew the girls were at my house, so I knew they couldn't have done it.
Well, then I would have picked up the phone and made a phone call to either the police or to her mother and said, that's impossible. How could they be looking for Jessica and Jessica when they were both here sitting in my kitchen having cookies and milk?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
If somebody said to you, your daughter has just been accused of being involved in a crime, you wouldn't go to sleep and say, I hope somebody figures this out. I hope we have Sherlock Holmes on the case.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jade Warner says former friend Jessica Reno owes for keying her grandfather's car.
Okay. Now, one of my children were accused of being involved in a vandalism. And I knew that my children were sitting at the kitchen table with me. I would have called back Jessica's mother and said to her, give me the name of the police officer who just called you, because I have to call them immediately and tell them that the girls were sitting with me for the last hour and a half. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good. Have a seat. Let me see estimates for the damage to the car. We understanding each other?
Yes, we do very well. Thank you, Your Honor.
Right.
Your Honor.
Who wants to say something? Sure.
I'm Jessica's mom. The girls were at my house, left at 9:40. We have brought a map, or 920, I'm sorry, of the 3 places they went.
I don't believe that they went to the 3 places, madam. Your daughter does not deny the fact that she was at Coach's. The only discrepancy is where they went after Coach's. The only defense that they have is that they went directly to Jessica Two's house where they were sitting in the kitchen having milk and cookies at the time of this incident. I don't need a map. I need the truth. And she knows exactly what I'm talking about. Because if you are a concerned parent, now just figure out what I just said to her. If somebody called your house and said to you, your daughter has just been accused of vandalizing property or being involved in a crime, and you knew she was sitting at your kitchen table during that time, all night, would you not contact the police and tell them that immediately? Would you not do that?
I would do that.
Of course. You wouldn't go to sleep and say, I hope somebody figures this out. I hope we have Sherlock Holmes on the case. You would pick up the phone and you would call immediately. This lady, who's a very nice lady, has a daughter who's driving a car, a truck, who at least could be considered, if this were true, an accomplice.
But her daughter was not accused of this crime. It was just
I'm telling you, if you are driving the car in which somebody is using as a vehicle to get away from performing a crime, they call that in movie land the getaway car. Then you pick up the phone and you say, the girls couldn't have been involved with that because they were with me. Right? Of course.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
I'll tell you one of the things that I found most interesting, Miss Reno. There is a witness. There is an eyewitness. And the eyewitness is somebody who, according to you, was a friend of yours. Because I'm going to read from your answer. Holly is a girl who I've been friends with for years. Holly said hi and gave me a hug. This was at Coach's that night. So you have to say to yourself, why in the world would somebody make up a story about having seen a friend commit a crime unless it were true? When somebody is a crime victim, they don't want just somebody to be punished. They want the right person to be punished. They don't want the wrong person to be punished. That doesn't make them feel good. So I can understand it. If you 2 girls had had a falling out and you accused her, anyway, say maybe you were making it up, maybe it wasn't her, maybe you thought it might be her. But when Holly says she saw you, and then your mother doesn't give me a very maternal answer as to what she did after she found out that the police were looking for the girls by going to sleep, I find that I am convinced by the required quantum of proof in this civil proceeding, which is proof by clear and convincing evidence, that you, in fact, are responsible. And the damage is $1,648.22. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
We haven't gone
Of Holiday versus Titsworth. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Mr. Holliday, according to your complaint, you and the defendant lived together for about 8 years. You have 1 child together.
Yes.
Several years ago, you and the defendant, according to your complaint, purchased a used car, a very old used car, a 1972 used car. According to you, you have possession of that car. She has the title to that car. You want her to either sign over the title to the car to you or pay you not only half the amount of money that you claim to have put into the car, which was $550, but also all the repairs that you made on the car in the time that you were driving it.
Correct.
Is that right?
Yes.
Now let's get to your end. Your end is that you actually purchased the car. That's why it's titled in your name. That he never put $550 into the car. That when you broke up, you had an arrangement with him, and that agreement was that he would return to you all of your property, in exchange for which you would sign over the title to the car. However, he failed to return all of your property to you, and therefore you didn't sign the title over to him. So you either want the car back or you want the blue book value of the car, which you claim is well over $2,000. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Ha! There we go. Let's give both of these people a reality check. Cars do not appreciate. Cars depreciate. If you buy a car for $1,100, 2.5 years later, it's not worth $2,500. You got it? Perfect. And you, sir, you had use of a car for 8 months, you drove a car for 8 months, you had to fix it in order to drive it. That's your problem. Got it?
Correct.
Perfect. Now, you had an arrangement with her to return all of her property.
Yes, which I did return her property.
What property did he not return?
He did not give me important documents. My birth certificate.
Your birth certificate?
Yes. I mean...
Shh. Okay. Do you have her birth certificate?
There's a bunch of stuff in storage. I have no idea, Your Honor.
When you say there's a bunch of stuff in storage, her stuff in storage?
My child's personal belongings. I have her birth certificate and her records.
Yes. But you don't know if her birth certificate is there?
I have not been through it, no.
You can either go through it, Ms. Titsworth, or you can call and get another birth certificate. Do you understand?
Yes.
What's next?
There was 4 TVs in the home. I did not receive... I didn't receive anything out of my home.
Who purchased the televisions?
I did with my money.
Mr. Halliday, did you return any television sets to her?
We had a verbal agreement, and she stated after she would not sign the car, she did not want one thing out of that house and to throw her stuff away.
What part of did you give her any television sets didn't you understand?
I understood every part of that.
So why don't you just answer my question?
I did not give her any televisions.
Why not? Didn't you think she would like to have one?
She didn't ask for one.
She's asking for one now, or maybe
well,
2.
There's one TV, and that was in my child's room. The other 2, well, there's a brand new one which I had bought.
Yes.
The other TV, what was in my child's room, was my mother's TV that was borrowed. She can have a TV. That's no problem.
How many TVs did you purchase?
Well, I purchased 3 of the TVs in my home.
Do you have any proof that you did?
No, because I paid cash for everything. Most of the things I had to get was from garage sales.
All right. What else do you claim he didn't return to you?
All my cutlery knives that I really enjoyed. I mean, there was pictures, the pictures that he did give me of my family ripped in half.
Did you do that?
No, ma'am, I didn't.
Did you destroy them at all?
No, or she would have brought that.
Did you bring any of the ripped pictures?
No, I didn't. Everything that he did give, I had to take it all to the dump.
Now, Mr. Halliday, where were you employed in the last 5 years?
I was in the Carpenters Union. We have numerous jobs.
And how much did you earn in 1997?
Approximately $12,000.
98.
I think about 14 to 16,000.
99.
25,000.
How much will you have earned this year?
Roughly almost $20,000, I would guess.
How much have you paid in child support, sir?
We just went through our custody hearing.
That's not what I'm
Nothing.
asking you. You paid nothing.
My child was held away from me for 60 days. I had to go to court to be able to see my child. They gave me child support in November. They wanted to redo it. They just started it again. Now my child support is due. I am behind $88.
And were you advised of what Mr. Halliday's child support order would be?
It's supposed to be $118 a month, commencing November the 1st of 2000.
$118 a month. Ms. Titsworth, when Mr. Halliday and you were living together, I want you to think very hard. Did he ever do jobs, on the side jobs, paid in cash?
Yes, he did a lot of side jobs.
What kind of side jobs?
Well, he sold drugs for many years.
Shh! Up! You knew that?
Yes, ma'am.
That's a side job. I was talking more in terms of bookshelves, but that was far more lucrative. When did he stop selling drugs?
July of 1997, once we had our child.
Because you had your child?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, that's a good thing. Ms. Titsworth, you don't want this car, do you?
No, Your Honor, I don't.
You have the title to the car? Let me tell you why it would be very smart to turn it over to him. He can build up parking tickets on that car. If he drives around without insurance, you might have a problem. So it would be very wise of you to sign over the title of the car and forget it. Do you understand?
Yes.
Let's do it.
That's what I was going to explain. On my title, I did send off the application, everything for my title, to Nevada because I never received the title.
When did you send it?
It was sent off 1/12/2001. I even have the insurance. I still pay insurance on my car.
Why are you still paying insurance on the car?
Because it's still registered in my name.
The car's probably not worth very much. Why don't you just have the police just go and get it and turn in the plates on it and junk it?
Because I know he needed my daughter, when she did go with him, that she needed to get around. And that was when he lived by himself.
Mm-hmm.
Once he moved in with his mom, I mean, there's several cars there now.
Is this your mother?
Yes, ma'am.
Good.
Yes,
Step up here, please. Miss Halliday?
Yes.
How many cars do you have?
We have 3 cars.
Good. I just changed my mind. This is what
But those are not mine.
I don't care whose they are. They don't belong to Santa Claus, do they?
No.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Michael Holliday says his ex-girlfriend, Carrie Titsworth, won't return the title to his car. Carrie says the car is hers.
Pay careful attention to me. You have to protect yourself. As soon as you get the title, you have to take the title to the police and say, he is withholding my car. You get the car. They must give it to you. You either sell it or junk it. Because, Miss Titsworth, I have no assurance that even if you sign the title over, that he is going to take that title and do anything with it, like registering the car in his own name, which would mean you would still be liable in case he had an accident without insurance. You listening to me? In case he got parking tickets of $1,000. You would be responsible. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So, Mr. Halliday, your application to have her sign the title over to you at this time is denied. Your application for money is denied. You drove an $1,100 car for 2 years. She's been paying the insurance on the car?
Your Honor, I have insurance showing that I've had insurance since 1998 with no lapses. Here is my tax returns for 1999, the time we bought the car, $428, which I paid made $25,000 that I'd like to submit.
Good.
Here is when I asked for the...
Did you understand what I said to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Here's
you have proof that you paid insurance on this car?
Yes.
Let me see it.
That's just 1 month of insurance right there. Showed that I had insurance for the last 3 years.
I don't care whether you have or whether you have not, sir. She has to protect herself. If someone with whom I were estranged had possession of a car that I couldn't get back, and as a result of that, I didn't know whether there was insurance on this car or not, the smart thing for me to do to protect any assets that I had was to maintain insurance. So whether you maintain insurance or not is really not the issue. The issue is she maintained insurance because she was forced to, because you have the car. She is exposed. Do you understand that?
Yes, and that's...
Good!
We were separating our property July 31st. I have these papers, if you'd like to look at them, to sign the...
Sure.
And also I have some papers here from a court case that her lawyer wrote me that stated that the car was my car. If you'd like to look at that.
Absolutely.
Okay, I just highlighted it a little bit in red. It's on the front page. They stated she saw your vehicle. Well, that indicates it was my vehicle.
Just a second. Did you ever sign this bill of sale in front of a notary?
No, I did not.
That's not been signed.
No, it sure hasn't been.
No, that was our agreement.
It sure hasn't been.
So how am I going to pay my child?
Just a minute. Ms. Titsworth indicates that on 2 occasions, Saturday, November 11th and Sunday, November 12th, she saw your vehicle at a parking lot of her employment where she was leaving at 4:30 in the morning. There is no reason for you to be in the parking lot of her employment at 4:30 in the morning. The only purpose could have been to harass or annoy her. You want me to assume from this sentence, she indicates she saw your vehicle at the parking lot? That's it?
Well,
is that it?
Yes, correct.
Wrong. Listen to me. Complaint is dismissed. Be smart. Get your title. You may decide once you get your title and retrieve the car that you want to give it to him. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you want to do that so that your daughter's father will have an opportunity to have a car, that's fine. But you make sure that if that's done, you or someone else accompany him that day to motor vehicles to transfer the car so that it's transferred not only on paper, but it's transferred with the state. Do you understand?
Yes.
But you better protect yourself because you are vulnerable.
Okay.
Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Counterclaim's dismissed as well. That's all.
Thanks.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
His motivation is just to get money from me.
She has a new boyfriend and just wants to get back at me for no reason.
And now the next case.
All parties on Weber versus Fidel. Step forward, please.
42-year-old baggage handler George Weber is suing his ex-girlfriend, 39-year-old teacher Jeanette Fidel, for an unpaid loan to fix her car. Jeanette admits to borrowing money, but says George is exaggerating the amount.
Mr. Weber, according to your complaint, you met the defendant over the internet in October of 1999 and subsequently started to date the defendant.
Yes, ma'am.
Then you claim that in May of the year 2000, she ran into some car trouble, and you agreed to take out a personal loan and give her money so that she could purchase a new car. There was an agreement that she repay you that money in installments. She gave you one $200 payment and then stopped, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
The defendant says that she never borrowed that kind of money from you. She did, in fact, borrow $200 from you to fix her car, but paid you back, right?
Correct.
So, Mr. Weber, let me hear the tale of the May loan, please.
Okay, Jan's car was stolen and was totaled. At the time, she was claiming her father was selling a car, and she needed the cash right away. So she couldn't get a loan. She told me to try to get a loan.
Look at me, sir.
I'm sorry. So I told her I would get a loan on good faith if she would pay me back. Here's my loan check. I gave it to Jan, and she cashed it.
Can I see it, please?
Yes, ma'am. And then...
Just a minute. Well, Miss Fidel, you clearly cashed this check in the amount of $2,112.
At my bank.
I don't care at whose bank.
That's true.
Well, you didn't tell me that in your answer. Yes?
Because he couldn't get to his bank fast. He couldn't travel that far. It's like 2.5 hours away. So he asked me to cash it at my bank, which I did. That was not for me, though. That was for him. He's from Chicago, not Indiana. He was down visiting me, leaving for Boston and Washington, D.C. He gave me $200 out of that so I could fix my car, which I did. There's my canceled check for that. He took the rest, and he went on vacation. He gave me $200 out of it.
Can I see?
She wanted me to
deposit. Just a minute.
And that's the extent of it.
No.
Your Honor, I have
Just a minute. No. Your story doesn't make sense, Miss Fidel, for this reason. The check that he got as a loan was dated the 25th of May of the year 2000. He got the check and he came, according to you, to visit with you, and then you give me a check that allegedly is dated June 17th, marked car.
Correct. That was for the car. When he helped me fix it, was for the car, so I would know.
No, ma'am, that was for a payment. I have receipt for that, too.
How much after she got this check for $2,000 did your relationship terminate?
I hurt my back May 20th, so relationship probably at the end of June.
So, within 4 weeks of receiving this check.
Right,
Is that right?
She terminated a relationship, right.
Did there come a time, Mr. Weber, that you did go to Washington and Boston?
Yes, ma'am, I work for major airlines, but that was before this all happened.
You mean before this loan?
Yes, ma'am, because I was on injury time. I can't fly on injury time.
When did you go there? Do you remember?
March.
When did you injure yourself, sir? May 20th?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of injury did you have?
I had a back injury.
How did you get to her house on May 25th in order to cash this check?
I drove, which is 60 miles from my house.
So your back wasn't bad enough so you couldn't drive?
Well, I drove. I was in a lot of pain driving.
I'm sorry.
But you drove?
Yes, ma'am. Because I cared for her. I wanted to see her.
What kind of work do you do with the airlines?
Baggage handler.
So you got to pick up heavy bags?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And when you travel the airline, sir, do you travel at a reduced rate?
Service charge, ma'am.
Just a service charge?
Yes, ma'am.
And you wouldn't be foolish enough to travel the airline across the country when you're putting in for some sort of back-related injury because of the airline. That would be pretty stupid, wouldn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure it would be. You understand, Miss Fidel? He wouldn't go to Washington and Boston at a time when he's saying he can't move to his job, right? So I have to deal with proof, and I have to figure out which of the two of you is not telling me the truth. Miss Fidel, I choose you. Because that's what the proof is. The proof is that you did, in fact, cash this check. You returned $200 of that money in a check that's marked car. It's not marked car repair. It's just marked car. So that's $1,812 she owes you. Is that right?
Without interest, yes, ma'am.
What's the interest rate?
That was 37.9%. And the reason
What?
Yes, ma'am. The reason I got that loan.
37%?
Yes, ma'am. I have it right here. At that time, because she needed the check right away because the car was going fast. But
The car to her father was going fast?
Yeah, she said that her father was selling somebody else.
The title.
She said somebody else was going to buy the car,
I
so
didn't
she
even
wanted the money
get
really
the
fast.
car till
But
October.
I refinanced the loan through my credit union, and the interest rate is only 13%.
And it was I didn't have to pay my father anything for that car.
Oh, I don't care whether you had to pay your father for the car or
it's right
not.
there,
I don't
so
care. I
that's
don't know what you did with the money, but I believe that he gave you the money.
Okay.
You claim that you needed the $200 in order to repair the car that you were currently driving. Is that correct?
Correct.
Show me the bill.
That I didn't bring.
That was your defense. Your defense was, no, your defense was you needed the $200 to fix the car that you were currently driving. That is your entire defense. So one would assume that you would have brought me a bill from a car repair shop in the amount of approximately $200. Who are you?
I'm her brother. I'm the one that fixed the car.
You're the one that fixed the car.
Yes, I am.
Bull. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,000, which to me covers appropriate interest. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Vasquez versus Ricard. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
Ms. Vasquez, according to your complaint, the defendant, who is the former wife of your present husband, assaulted you.
Yes, ma'am.
And she did this when you and your husband were returning the children after a period of visitation that you had with the children. Tell me what happened.
Well, as you already know, we had vacation with the children and we brought them back. I was unloading bike pieces that were in the car. My husband went upstairs, brought the first load up, and the children as well. And
how old are the children?
At the present time, they're 6 and 11.
Okay.
And during the vacation, the youngest was 5 years old. I had to spank her on the bum. One time, I was combing her hair out. I pulled a nap, and she started kicking at me. So I spanked her on the bum, and I sent her to her dad. A little while later, we talked about it. Till this day, right now, she doesn't even remember if you asked her. So I look up. I'm taking the stuff out. Miss Ricard's in my face, calling me names. Within a blink of an eye, she attacked me. She grabbed my hair and continued to like swing. At that point, my husband tried to get in the middle, but as I said, her hand was caught in my hair, and she's a strong woman. So, and I was pregnant.
How much pregnant were you?
5 months. That was the first time we ever met face to face, actually. She grabbed my glasses off my face, and she tore my dress and started kicking. She kept kicking and kicking, and she finally got me. She got me on this side. I was 5 months pregnant, and she knew. She's like, you don't even know who your father of the baby is. I hope you lose your baby. And this is all happening in front of the children. She threw rocks at me.
Were you injured other than being struck in the stomach?
I had a scratch over here and a bruise on my side.
Did you see a doctor?
I went to after that whole mess, I went to the precinct. And at the precinct, they called me an EMS, emergency service, and they checked me there. At that time, I was cramping and spotting, and it was because of that.
Can I see the police report?
Sure. With that, I hand you the immediate order of protection they gave me.
Did you have a hearing on this application for an order of protection?
No, ma'am. Just recently, at the criminal court, the case was heard, finally. Ms. Ricard had a witness that no one agreed upon, and they just let her go.
So what happened with that case? It was ultimately dismissed?
Yes. Also because the judge did not want to get involved in the family issues. There are a lot of family issues involved here.
This matter was ultimately heard in the criminal court?
Yes.
On charge of assault. Was there a trial?
Yes, there was a trial.
Was it a jury or a non-jury trial?
Non-jury.
Okay, let me hear your version of the events, Ms. Ricard.
My children came upstairs. I asked them how they were doing, but when they came through the door, I saw that my children had their hair cut and chemicals were put in their hair. It was relaxed. They came in, they said they had a good time. My little one said, "Mommy, she hit me." I said, "She hit you?" She said, "Yeah." I said, even after last weekend when I told her, don't put her hands on you or don't hit them with a comb, like my oldest one had told me the weekend before when I spoke to her on the phone, because she had been doing their hair and they didn't want her to do with their hair. So I went downstairs and I asked her, "What is this I hear about you hitting my kid?" She says, "I didn't hit your kid." I said, "Tiffany, did she hit you?" Tiffany said, "Yes." I said, "But on the phone last week when you picked up the other line, I told you not to touch my children." "I didn't touch your children, and you should teach your children more respect, and they don't have no manners." She stepped back, she took off her glasses and her sandals, threw her sandals at me, and stepped forward, and you should learn how to tell your children the truth and right things. And when she put her hand in my face, I defended myself by trying to push her away, and we got into a tussle. My neighbor and another neighbor from across the street.
Don't tell me who saw anything, madam, if they're not here.
Oh, okay. Well, I have his affidavit.
I'm not interested in an affidavit.
Okay.
I'm interested in
Well,
witnesses and common sense.
People around. Neighbors broke it up, and I went upstairs.
Who do the children live with now?
Me. They live with Anthony Polite.
They live with myself and my husband.
And how long have the children been living with you?
Since August
30th.
Was that as a result of a court order?
Yes, ma'am. I have all the papers.
I'd like to see them.
This is their order of protection on their mother, and this is the order.
Can I see it, please? All right. Ms. Ricard, I sat in family court for a long time. I know enough to know that no family court judge transfers custody absent the showing of some special circumstance that requires in the children's best interest for that custody to be transferred. I'm not going into that now. What I am going to tell you is I think that A, you didn't like her to begin with, even though you had never met her, but you must have known from your children that she was pregnant and that she was going to soon marry your former husband. I assume you were not remarried at the time. Is that right?
No, I wasn't.
Then your children come home, and you see that while they were visiting with their father and soon-to-be stepmother, they did an outrageous thing by having their hair straightened, cut, whatever it was, because you talk about that in your papers. So you're furious at that. And then you continue to ask your children how things were, and your youngest child said that she had, in fact, spanked her. That further infuriated you. You come down there in a fury. You didn't approach her and say, could you please tell me what happened when you were there? I told you not to put your hands on her. You came down in a fury. They had usurped, in your judgment, maternal right and permed the hair, cut the hair, aside from the fact that you probably have a whole history with this man if there is a custody battle ongoing for years anyway. So you are not a happy camper, and you lost your temper. That's what happened. And you lost your temper and you assaulted her.
No, that's not what happened.
Oh, yes, I believe that because she wasn't angry with you. She wasn't angry with you.
I have a statement here where she told the judge, Anthony, her husband, told the criminal judge that she was mimicking me before I even got downstairs.
You have the transcript?
Yes, I have the entire transcript.
I want the whole transcript.
You want the whole?
Oh, yeah. I just don't
can
want
even
one
give you
piece of it.
pages where these things
No,
occur.
no, I don't do pages.
Oh, have the whole thing.
That's fine.
To look at.
Now, you can direct me
to
the pages when I ask you for them.
Okay, page 28.
Just a second. Are you a police officer?
School safety agent, a peace officer. I have too much to lose to assault her for anything.
You have any other paperwork from the family court?
Sure, I have a statement that says she's not to be left alone with my children.
No, I'd like to see everything that you have.
Sure.
Your Honor, that's because she lied.
I don't.
Page 71 in the transcript you have?
No, I don't have a full transcript.
There is another half, but that I don't have in my possession.
I need the end of the case.
I don't have that.
Well, then this is useless to me. I have to have an entire document. I have to see whether this case was dismissed after an entire trial. I'm speaking, and you're not. Whether the case was dismissed after the plaintiff's case, or whether after the entire case beyond a reasonable doubt the judge did not believe that the allegations had been sustained. The quantum of proof here is very, very different. My sense is, after reading all of these documents, unfounded reports of neglect filed against the father.
Yeah, because Anthony constantly calls ACS, but I'm not here to exploit my children.
Just a second. All of those things go into your frustration, Ms. Ricard. At the time when they were returning the children, I assume that they were returning the children on time. They were not there to argue with you. They were not there to fight with you. You had a choice.
Neither was I.
No, oh, yes, you were. You had a choice. And your choice was that if your daughter said something to you about being hit, spanked by the plaintiff, and you are, in some regard, a peace officer, then what you do, since you were no stranger to the courts, you were no stranger to family court, you had an attorney, so that your choice at that time was, the very next morning you pick up the phone.
Let me ask, can I ask you something?
No, you may ask me nothing. What I'm telling you is they came there without any sense of fight. You came downstairs, you were furious. And you were furious because of a whole bunch of things.
No, I was not furious.
Of course you were furious. The first thing that you said to me today, they had chemically treated the children's hair and straightened it. So?
Yeah.
So?
They were.
So?
Yeah. And
So?
she has, like you didn't
So
want to
what?
look at the statement, But she was, in that statement, she says how I came downstairs. She says that I came downstairs in a calm, low-mannered voice. She says it in the statement.
Oh, show me.
Page 71, she says that she was, Anthony says, yes, she was mimicking me.
No.
Of course.
Just a second. Just a second. I'm going to look at page 71. She
Page
says,
22.
My
That's the
husband's here to say what
I want you to be quiet. I'm reading from line 4. I was unpacking the trunk and I was putting the bicycle pieces down on the ground when I looked up and Miss Ricard is right on the sidewalk in front of me, and she didn't start yelling at me. She approached me by saying, "Why did you put your hands on my daughter? Why did you put your hands on my child?" When she said that to you, what was her tone? Very low. What was your response? Because she was upset about it, I said, "Let me explain what happened." She didn't give me a chance. She just attacked me. I don't know why you think that that'll help you. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,500. That's all.
Thank
Parties
you, Your
are
Honor.
excused. You may step out.
The truth will prevail eventually. It'll prevail. This is just a little war. The battle is not over.
She's gotten away with way too much. And, you know, if she was a fit parent, the children would not be living with myself and my husband.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Phillips versus Boyd and Boyd versus Booten, step forward.
24-year-old bus driver Latasha Phillips is suing former friend, 23-year-old cashier Danielle Boyd, for giving her personal information to police when she received a ticket. Danielle has a separate lawsuit against her own witness, Shanika Booten. Danielle says Shanika was the one who actually gave the information.
Miss Boyd, you are driving along with your friend over here. I assume that you're Miss Booten.
Mm-hmm.
Yes is the answer.
Yes.
You're driving. You get pulled over by the police. You had no driver's license. So when the police said to you, "Can I see your driver's license and registration?" you said what?
I gave him Latasha Phillips' name.
And you got a ticket.
Right.
For what?
With no insurance.
What else? You don't get stopped for no insurance because the police don't know you have no insurance when they stop your car. What was your car stopped for?
I had a busted windshield.
That's an answer.
Danielle has a separate lawsuit against her own witness, Shanika Booten. Danielle says Shanika was the one who actually gave the information.
So you gave her name to the police. You said, "I don't have my license, but this is my name"? Speak.
Right.
Did I say anything that was funny to you?
Not so far.
Could you get your act together, please?
Excuse me.
You also gave her date of birth.
I didn't know her date of birth until she gave it to me.
So Miss Booten over here gave you Miss Phillips' date of birth to complete the lie that you told to the police, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Phillips, at this time you're home making matzo ball soup for your family, right?
Yes.
And you know nothing about this?
No, ma'am.
You find out that you've been issued this citation. Did you get something in the mail?
No, ma'am.
Well, how did you find out about it?
Because Shanika, that's my cousin right there. Yeah. And this her best friend. They was mad at each other. So Shanika called one of my other cousins and told her to tell me that Kunta used my name.
So what did you do?
I called the DMV and I got the citation number. Then I called the court to find out why she got pulled over and what day it happened and stuff. And then they start sending me papers in the mail from the collection agency.
Let me see your papers.
This from the collection agency, and this from the DMV. And the collection agency saying that they put a hold on my license, and the DMV said that they was going to suspend my license if I didn't clear it up. And that's
now,
the
your
only
particular
thing.
problem is you were on maternity leave from your job as a bus driver.
Yes, ma'am.
And you couldn't go back to work for a period of time because your license was suspended.
Yes, it's on hold.
On hold for a period of time.
Yes, ma'am.
How long were you out of work?
I was supposed to go back from October 10th, till now.
And you haven't been able to clear this up?
I just went to court on the 30th for this ticket to get the paper saying that I had to do it.
And how much do you earn a month?
$18.06.
Your defense is it's her fault, right?
Yes.
Because if she hadn't given you the date of birth,
I wouldn't have told the police, right?
Did you ever tell anybody that you had given misinformation?
It was only me and her who knew because we were in the car together. It was me, her, and her baby.
Did you ever tell the truth to the police?
To the police.
To the police. Did you ever tell the truth to the police so that you got her off the hook?
No.
No. I'd like you to sit down for a minute, please. This is going to take 2 seconds. Step over here, please. Now you're the plaintiff. Now you're the defendant. Now, Miss Boyd, this is a lawsuit that you filed against Miss Booten, right?
Right.
And you filed this lawsuit against Miss Booten for $1,000.
Right.
And your claim, why don't you tell me what your claim is against Miss
From
Booten?
loss of work, and I lost $400 behind this.
How is she responsible for your lost wages from work?
Because they took $400 from me.
For the ticket?
For the ticket. They were both taking the money from me.
Did you take $400 from her?
No, I didn't.
Let me read you your claim that you filed, madam.
I see it, it's right.
You say she should be responsible,
She should be responsible.
for aiding me in giving the police the misinformation that caused them to issue a citation in her name, because but for her giving you her date of birth, you would not have given the police that misinformation.
Right.
I'm suing the defendant for $1,000 for the stress caused and lost wages.
Yeah.
I think she needs a real reality check. Would you say she needs a reality check?
That a detox.
Yeah, right. Perfect. Your case is dismissed. Now, on your case, just stand up for a second. You may sit down. You may sit down. Not a genius to give your cousin's date of birth, madam. Do you understand? Now you can move back over here. Play little musical chairs. Move back over here. All right, Miss Boyd, let's talk about an R word. R word, responsibility. Responsibility means that if you give misinformation to the police out of your mouth that causes somebody else a problem, even if somebody else told you that information, it's your responsibility.
That's true.
That's not what you say in your answer.
But I'm saying it doesn't cause them to take my money from me.
Oh, I'm going to take a lot more money from you. Because of your actions, she was out of work for at least 2 months because she couldn't drive without a good license, because you opened up your big mouth and lied to the police when you got stopped. It has nothing to do with the police and your broken windshield and you didn't have insurance on your car. That's something between you and the police, madam. With regard to Miss Phillips, you owe her $2,600. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step back. Party's been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
How old are you, sir?
17.
This is your father?
Yes, ma'am.
Why don't you have a seat for a moment, sir?
Sure.
Quentin, according to your complaint, you ran away from home. Was it just you or you and your sister?
Me, my girlfriend, and 2 other girls.
When was that?
December 10th, somewhere around that.
Was there any particular reason that you left home?
The main reason was,
Look at me.
at the time, I was having a lot of problems in the home, and also my girlfriend at the time, she was only 14, so were the other 2 girls that ran away. Basically, I was looking for a way to get out and a reason. I just thought I could go along and help.
Go along and what?
Help them take care of themselves, considering their age.
According to you, the defendants took you into their home. I'll figure out why in a minute. After a week, you decided that this wasn't for you, and you went back home. You say that they retained certain of your property. That's what this lawsuit is about, $5,000 worth of your property that you say that they have. How did you get to their house?
They came and picked me up about a half hour after my dad left for work on that day.
How did you know them?
I met him a week or 2 prior through one of the girls that ran away with me. Their brother was living with them.
So one of the girls that ran away with you had a brother who was also a runaway?
No, he was 19. He was their roommate.
Had you talked about moving in with them, I assume, before December 10th?
Yes.
What did you tell them?
One night, me and the other 3 girls were with them at a coffee house, and that night, the girls didn't go home. We stayed out too late, and they missed their curfew, so they just decided they were going to stay gone. And in the meantime, I was corroborating with them basically on how to raise money to get out of state.
What reason did he tell you that he was running away from home?
He didn't tell me any reason. This is a different story.
We don't even know him, really.
We know him. We met him twice.
We met him twice.
So you met him twice, then you know. They picked you up at your house?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you pick him up at his house?
No.
Go ahead. They picked you up at the house, and what did you do? Look at me.
The night before, I had spent the entire night packing. I stayed up all night packing my stuff in boxes and bags, and that morning it was around 7:30 they showed up. They helped me load everything into their car. We crammed it full, and we went straight to their house.
Yes?
From there, I stayed there.
For a week?
Yes, 7 days exactly.
And what happened when you decided to leave?
By this time, all of us had made a mutual agreement that none of us would back out of it. We were set to run away. And
You mean you and the 3 girls?
Yes, and the defendants. And if we backed out, the rest of us would get back at the others in some way. And me and one of the girls had decided a couple days before we left that we didn't want to stay there anymore, but we felt we couldn't just leave because of the fact that all my stuff was over there. I didn't know if I could get it back. I didn't know if we were going to go to jail if we came back or not. So
why would you go to jail?
Because we ran away.
Okay.
On Christmas Day, we had had enough of it, and they had gone to their parents or whatever for Christmas or something. And I called my mom and told her to come pick me up before they got home because I was afraid what they would do if they found out we were leaving, because this would mean that they would most likely go to jail, and they did.
Go to jail for what?
Harboring runaways.
So your mom came and picked you up?
Yes.
Came pick you up in a car?
Yes.
Why didn't you take your stuff with you?
I didn't even have any shoes on when I left.
Well,
I was...
Quentin, you called your mother. I assume you knew you were going to leave the night before, so as soon as they left...
We had been wanting to leave, but up until 10 minutes before I called her.
And where does your mother live?
She lives in Franklin, Indiana.
About how far is that?
It took her 15 minutes.
Well, in 15 minutes, you pack up a lot of stuff.
This is true.
Including the shoes that you were wearing. Because one of the things that you say you left is your cat.
Yes, ma'am.
That doesn't sound hard to get.
True. My mom, when she pulled up, she knocked on the door and she wanted to come in and get my stuff, but I didn't want to stay there. I didn't want to take the risk of them coming home.
Why? You think they're violent?
Yes.
What makes you think they're violent?
While we were there, their roommate, one of the girls' older brother, he had come out about something, and basically everyone in the house at the time beat him up. Totally. Just trashed him. He's got scars and bruises all over his face.
This 19-year-old brother?
Yes.
You have a drug problem?
No.
Did you ever use drugs?
I have.
Did you use drugs while you were in their house?
No, ma'am.
Were you going to school at the time you ran away from home?
No, ma'am.
For how long?
Close to a year.
What were you doing during that year?
Working.
Working for whom?
I had a couple different jobs at fast food places and home office.
Why did you leave school?
It was an incident. I was kicked out. I was expelled for a while.
For what?
It came harassment of a teacher. I had gotten into a fight with a teacher. When it came time for me to go back, my parents and I just decided I would drop out and start GED classes. That way I could work.
Is that the first time that you had been in trouble in school?
That was the only time I've ever been in trouble.
What kind of harassment of the teacher?
Threats.
Threats? On the phone?
No.
In school?
Yeah.
Ever outside of school?
No.
You two were married?
Yes.
Yes.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
22.
What makes you take in runaways into your house?
We didn't take in runaways.
We did not.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
The next thing we know, we got a cop knocking at the door.
Now, you were arrested for kidnapping?
No, we're arrested for contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
And later today,
Did you consent to a restraining order?
I consented to it. The only reason
Yes,
I
I don't care why.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 17-year-old Quentin Pemberton says when he ran away from home, he lived with Damon and Loretta May. He's suing for the return of his belongings.
Let me hear what happened.
Okay, it all boils down to at the coffee shop they met, he made passes at my husband. Damon told him to back off. He gave our roommate, we do have a keyboard of his, but on that day that we were down there at Big Daddy's, he gave a keyboard to our roommate, our ex-roommate, to pawn. He said get at least $100 out of it. And he gave it to him to pawn.
He gave the keyboard to this 19-year-old roommate?
He's 18, actually.
Your Honor, he never had
18-year-old
his
roommate?
hands on it.
Yes, and he asked him to take it to the pawn shop and pawn it.
Was it pawned?
No, no.
Where is it?
We couldn't, they wouldn't let us bring it here.
But you have the keyboard?
Yes.
You say that you never went to his house to pick him up?
No.
Never did?
No.
How did you find him in the house?
He wasn't in the house. Our back door was kicked in.
Yes.
On Christmas Day.
When we got home on Christmas Day, our back door was kicked in. We didn't know what was going on. We go back in one of the extra rooms, and there's all this stuff there. It's like we didn't know where the stuff came from. The next thing we know, we've got a cop knocking at the door saying that we kidnapped kids.
Just a second. Are you saying they never lived with you for a week?
No, no. I babysat my roommate's younger sister, her younger brothers, New Year's. Okay, all this supposedly happened before Christmas. New Year's, I babysat for my roommate's mom, and one of the girls, she was one of the runaways. Now, why would she allow her to come over to my home if we kidnapped them or...
Now, you were arrested for kidnapping?
No, we're arrested for contributing to the delinquency of a minor. And the judge told us we'll probably throw it out of court because...
But you have not been tried on that case yet?
No, we have not.
That's still an open case?
Yes, March 8th.
Oh. Say not another word. I'm going to handle this very, very easily today. I cannot continue with this case. Mr. and Mrs. May are currently, I assume, under indictment for contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Rather serious charge for which there could be serious consequences. You understand that?
Yes.
I see that you do, in fact, have certain property that you say belongs to the plaintiff.
Yes.
Let's do this. That property is going to be retained for a moment after this court hearing is concluded. I'm directing you to go outside, call your attorney, see if there is any reason why you should not turn over that property to him or whether it should be retained as evidence. If your lawyer says you don't need it, turn it over to him.
Okay.
The keyboard you can pick up.
Okay.
Anything else of any size that you have in your house that belongs to him?
There's like a little Sony boombox, a bag of stuff, like clothes and stuff in it.
Cat.
His cat, a black cat.
Cat's still okay?
Oh, yeah, I've been feeding it, taking care of it.
Okay. So the cat goes back.
That's fine.
Fine. You want to pick that stuff up within 3 days?
There was other items too there.
I don't care.
Okay.
I really don't care.
Your Honor. Okay. Sure.
You know, I have a feeling somewhere in between these two stories there's a piece of truth. Unfortunately, I can't go into it now because they are currently under an indictment. So I can't go into it. Your son's no bargain. Just understand that.
I understand that.
Very good. So if he lost a couple of CDs, that's too bad.
Your Honor,
So
I had
be it.
$6,000 worth of CDs.
I feel very sorry for you, sir. I feel very sorry for you. I want to tell you something. You know that I don't believe the whole story that you told me? Little pieces of it, maybe. But I don't believe this whole story that you just told me. We understand each other?
Yes,
And if that costs you a couple of bucks in CDs, be happy you're getting your cat back. All right. That goes back to him after you speak to your lawyer. You speak to your lawyer has no problem with you turning over to the plaintiff's father the other items that you have in the house, including the keyboard and the boombox and any clothes and any CDs that he may have there. Just give it all to him, get it out of your house. He'll be very, very happy to get it out of your house. I assume your lawyer will have no problem with that. You understand? Perfect. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
We all were over there. We all ran away over there. I just like to say that anyone who wants to run away, it's not worth it, because you lose out in the end anyway.
He never lived in our home. And I mean, I don't promote runaways. My plan is to open up a group home for kids with troubles, not take them in, you know, and hide them.
And now the next case.
All parties on Zara versus Duteau. Step forward, please.
43-year-old retired nurse Carrie Zer is suing her ex-boyfriend, 47-year-old masseur Gerard Duteau, for selling her wicker patio furniture.
Ms. Zer, according to what I've read, you and the defendant had a brief relationship about 3 years ago.
Yes, ma'am.
You were married at the time. You left your husband with some things into storage, briefly moved in with the defendant, and one of the things you did not put in storage was a wicker patio set.
Yes, ma'am.
There came a time when you left the defendant's home, you left the patio set there, and now you want him to pay you what you consider is fair market value for this antique rattan patio set, which is $500. He sold it for 30 bucks. When did you move this patio set into the defendant's home?
It was in October 1998, approximately October, November.
1998?
Yes.
And how long did you stay there?
3 weeks, ma'am.
So you were out of there by November?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, when you left his home, where did you go?
I was for the next 5 months living either in the pediatrics unit or at my daughter's home or at my ex-husband's spare bedroom. My grandson was dying.
What kind of conversation did you have with him about this patio set?
When I moved out of Gerard's, he said it was fine that I left it there and could store it there until I got a home of my own, which I didn't intend to do until the situation with my grandson was resolved, and I thought that that might be 6 months to a year, and he was agreeable to that.
Did he say that to you?
Yes, ma'am, he did.
You had the conversation with him that it might not be 6 months to a year?
I told him that I thought it would be 6 months to a year. These children typically live and die before the second year, and I told him I thought it would be 6 months to a year.
After you left his house, did you in fact call him periodically?
I called him twice, and once was to get a phone number for a dentist, and he did not return my phone calls. I went to the Sufi dancing where he plays guitar on Friday nights, and I told him I needed the phone number because I had a tooth broken. And I had also intended to talk to him to see how the patio furniture was that night.
Don't ask what you intended. Right. You didn't discuss it with him.
The patio furniture that night? No, never got there. He became angry with me.
Okay. So when was the next time you contacted him about the patio furniture?
March.
March of 2000?
Yes, ma'am. I approached him publicly. His new girlfriend, the lady sitting here, was there that night, and I told him I had moved to a home now, and I'd like to get my patio furniture. And Gerard told me he sold it, just flat out said he sold it.
So from November of 1998
yes, ma'am,
until March of 2000, you never had a conversation with him about the patio furniture?
Yes, ma'am. I did have a conversation with him, the one I told you about, where I talked to him the night I went and asked him about getting my dentist's telephone number. I sat on the patio furniture that night, but he became angry. I didn't
You
talk
did
to him.
not, listen to me.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Zur.
Yes.
You told me that you went to talk to him about getting the phone number for a dentist.
Yes.
But that you did not talk about the patio furniture.
No.
So what I'm asking you is, am I correct
Yes,
that between November of 1998
yes,
and March of 2000,
yes, ma'am,
you did not have any conversation with him about the patio furniture?
No, I apologize. You're correct. We did not discuss it that night, no.
Okay. When did you sell the patio furniture?
It was the first weekend in May of last year, 2000.
She said she spoke to you in March of 2000.
I remember it's the first weekend in May because that's when we have a park-wide garage sale.
Could it have been in May instead of March?
That could have been, yes.
It could have been May.
Could have been,
2000. Yes. So he actually held on to this property longer than the agreed time. Is that right?
No, ma'am. The understanding that I had was that my grandson is dying. These children die before 2 years old. I expect him to die within 6 months to a year, and then I'm going to get a home.
Okay.
That was the understanding.
Let me ask you this question. I know that this is difficult, Miss Sir. Did your grandson survive the illness?
No, ma'am, he did not.
When did he pass away?
He died in March of 1999.
Well, if he died in March of 1999, it was more than a year after that you called to reclaim this property.
Yes, ma'am. And in the meantime, Gerard had filed a restraining order. I did, and I didn't even realize he had the patio furniture in the aftermath. I didn't even remember.
Miss Sir.
Yes, ma'am.
I know that you probably, in the past couple of years in your life, have had a lot of pain. And sometimes it's very easy to transfer pain to something else. To get angry.
May I make a comment, Your Honor?
Sure you can.
Gerard Duteau knew how much I loved that furniture.
If you loved that furniture, you should have taken better care of it. You didn't even realize that he had the patio furniture. What is it that brings you to court now, Miss?
Because sometime last winter, when I went to my storage and was thinking of getting the home and started looking through things, then it occurred to me he had it, and that's when I approached him about it.
You didn't speak to him about it?
Not right off the bat, no, I didn't.
You didn't speak to him at all about it then?
I was cut off from communicating with him, Your Honor. He had a restraining order. It was very difficult.
Did you have a lawyer representing you in
No,
with
ma'am,
a
I did
restraining
not.
order? Shh. Did you consent to a restraining order?
I consented to it. The only reason
yes,
I
I don't
did.
care why. You consented to the restraining order?
Yes.
That was in what year?
99, November.
So in November of 1999, 1 year after you left the furniture there.
Yes.
There must have been a basis for him requesting a restraining order, but there was no mention when you appeared before a judge and consented to the
Yes.
restraining order.
Yes, ma'am, you're right.
You could have said to the judge, I don't mind consenting to this restraining order, but I want my furniture back that's in his house.
Yes.
Could have said that, you did, and your case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
All right. You're Mr. Stover.
Yes, ma'am.
Who's April?
My cousin, right there.
Could you step up, April, because you're very much involved with this sad tale that I really tried very hard to organize with limited success. But from what I gather, you and your cousin were out for an evening.
Me, my cousin, and my friend Tammy there.
And you were at some sort of a club?
Yes, ma'am.
And these two ladies were also trying to get into the club.
Yes, ma'am.
And according to you, something happened between April and these two young ladies. They thought she said something untoward to them, or that she smiled and said they couldn't get in and we did. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
So after the club was over, you went back to April's house?
Yes.
And when you got to April's house, you found these two ladies there, waiting for her.
Yes, ma'am. I got there first, and they were setting up the street waiting.
Did you have a conversation with them?
When I pulled in the driveway, they pulled down, and yes, I had a conversation with them.
What did you say to them, and what did they say to you?
It was just a casual conversation. They asked me where April was and when she'd be home, and told them that she was on her way. She'd went to go get pizza.
And after April came home, that's when all this fracas started. And your lawsuit, Mr. Stover, says that one of these two young ladies, that's Angela. Which one is Angela?
I am.
That Angela broke the window on your car with her shoe.
Yes.
She acknowledges that she did that. She says she was defending herself. She was aiming for you and you ducked. That's your defense.
Well, yes.
That's what I read here. You also claim that Jessica, that's you,
Yes, ma'am.
had you arrested for assault, as a result of which you had lost earnings, you drive a cab, couldn't drive for 4 months.
Yes, ma'am. It was malicious wounding, which was a felony. You know.
And those charges were ultimately dismissed.
The first charges were, then they appealed it to a higher charge, aggravated malicious wounding, which it was a worse 20 years to life.
And was that also dismissed?
Yes, ma'am.
After a trial?
Yes, ma'am.
So there was a full trial?
There was a full trial.
Where you testified and she testified?
Yes.
So you are suing Jessica for having you falsely arrested and loss of income. She is counterclaiming because she says that you assaulted her with some sort of a machine that takes credit cards, imprints.
Yes, ma'am. I have that with me.
You acknowledge that you did, in fact, hit her with that.
Yes, ma'am. It's self-defense.
Okay, so that's what the case is about. So let's get back to the girls are there waiting for April. April has her pizza and comes back to the house. Okay? What is the very next thing that happened? You want to tell me, April?
Jessica called me over to her car. So I walked over to her car. And
You had known her from before that evening?
Yeah. As far as I knew, we were friends. We had talked every time we'd seen each other out. We had talked to each other.
Okay. So she called you over to her car?
Yes. I walked over to her car, asked her what was going on. As soon as I did that, she reached out, grabbed me by the back of my hair, twisted me, and had me upside down in her car. The top of my head was in her lap.
Okay. And then what happened?
I asked her what was going on. She said I was talking or dancing with her boyfriend, which was not true. We were there maybe 10 minutes at that club.
She still got you in the car?
She has me in this underneath with my head.
So you're talking?
Yeah, I was trying to talk nice and calm to her, and I thought we were friends at that time,
Okay, well, clearly at that time she didn't want to be your friend.
Evidently not.
So what happened?
I just kept asking her why she was doing it, and I yelled for Steve. I was like, Steve, come over here and tell her what we did. So Steve eventually comes over.
And what happened, Steve, when you walked over?
Well, when she first hollered for me, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't realize the seriousness of it. And then I eventually went over there and seen what was going on. And we both were trying to reason with Jessica. We told her whatever we did, if we laughed at you, we were sorry. And that's when Angie got out of the other side.
Who was driving?
Angie.
Go ahead.
And she got out, and when she come out, she had a lock blade knife, and she brandished it to Brad and myself. And it pretty much scared us right bad. Then she got back in the driver's side, and as far as I could see, she folded the knife up and put it in the middle console. So that's when I was worried for her, because the way her head was in the car, you know, I was...
Her head was still in the car?
Yes, her head was still in... I was thinking the worst, you know, she could have got cut or anything. So I did what I had to do. I beat down on Jessica's arms and got April's hair loose. And she fell back onto the ground. Then they got mad because I'd got her loose. They chased me to my truck. Jessica was first chasing me, and I was running to my truck trying to get to the phone so I could call the police. And I didn't know who had the knife at the time. So I used to work for a frozen food company selling frozen food, so I had a credit card machine. And I grabbed the first thing I could out of my truck, and I've got the credit card machine here if you'd like to see it.
I would.
Okay. This is the credit.
Gotcha.
That's the credit card machine. I grabbed it out of the truck. I swung it around just wildly, not knowing, just trying to protect myself because I thought she had the knife with her. I didn't know who had the knife. That's when she got flattened on the ground, and then
Who got flattened?
Jessica knocked her down.
Jessica got flattened.
I got into the truck, and Angie was still on her way to the truck. I locked the door. I was on the phone with the state police, and that's when she took this shoe and smashed the side window out of my truck. It shattered it. And it's like they ran off. They said they were going to get reinforcements. I was on the phone with the state police. They were connecting me with the Roanoke City police.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I got hit as soon as I stepped in the grass.
Why did you step in the grass for? Why didn't you stay in the car?
I got out to check on her. That my fault for
cost
being
your
a
broken
fool.
face. That sometimes happens to bullies. Bullies sometimes get the short end of the stick.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Steve Stover says he was acting in self-defense when he hit Jessica Shibley in the face with a credit card machine. He claims that Jessica had him falsely prosecuted. Jessica is countersuing for her injuries.
Now, as a result of this, Jessica, you suffered some very serious injury.
Yes, ma'am.
And when you suffered this serious injury, you were right near his truck.
Actually, I just stepped out of the car.
You were right near his truck?
Well, about a car length away, yes, ma'am.
Well, let's go back a little bit. What were you two ladies doing going to her house?
We did go to her house.
For what?
To question her about what had happened at the bar. We were not even in the bar.
What do you mean question her?
Well,
what does that mean, question her?
They had made some comments that upset me, so I went to ask
What kind
them
of
about
comments?
it. Something about us not being able to get in. They thought that was really funny.
So they laughed at you?
Yes, ma'am.
That you couldn't get into the club and they did?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what you went to question them about?
Yes, ma'am.
Where had you been before that evening?
We had just been out and about.
What do you mean out and about? What does that mean out and
We
about?
had been downtown. In
Downtown
our
where?
Local places where we live, downtown Roanoke. Some different nightclubs and things down there.
All right, so you'd been to some clubs that evening?
Yes, ma'am.
How many clubs had you been to that evening?
We just rode, we didn't even go in one downtown. We had stopped at a little place on Williamson Road before we proceeded to go to the one they were at.
Okay. So then you go to April's house to discuss with her.
Yes, ma'am.
Her laughing at you.
Yes, ma'am.
And who grabbed her in a headlock?
She wasn't in a headlock.
Who grabbed her in a headlock and grabbed her
By
hair?
the back of the hair after she stuck her head in the car.
She stuck her head in the car
Yes,
to talk to you.
When she come to the car, she stuck her head in the car.
And what did she say?
She kind of basically asked me what I wanted, and that's when I did grab her by the back of the head.
You grabbed her by the back of the hair. If you're sitting in the car and grabbed her by the back of the hair, then her head's in the car.
Yes, ma'am.
You have no right to do that.
You're right.
That started all the trouble.
Yeah.
Ended up you got your face bashed in.
Yes, ma'am.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
You think you deserve to get paid for that?
I don't deserve to have to pay him.
Why not?
I never laid a hand on him.
You started it. Tua, you started it. You want to show me the picture so that I can see just how dumb you are? That's pretty dumb. You had your cheekbone fractured?
Broken.
Broken. Fractured means broken.
Oh, yeah.
Broken. Huh. You had surgery?
Yes, ma'am.
That's pretty bad. What kind of knife was there?
There was no.
Don't tell me there was no knife. I don't want to hear there was no knife. Do you understand? I don't want to hear there was no knife. Now, it could have been a little knife. It could have been one of those little red knives. What do they call those? Swiss Army knives. You know.
I never held a knife. I never seen a knife.
Yeah.
And that is after my surgery. The police would not release the other pictures before the thing.
Oh, I'm sure they were terrible.
Yes.
Who do you have to blame for that?
Steve?
No! You! He was protecting his cousin.
No, his cousin was in the house when I had gotten hit. Angela was out of the car.
Just a minute. If her cousin was in the house, and you had come to speak, let's listen to me. If she had run into the house because her head got loose, right? And you had finished your conversation with her.
Yes, ma'am.
What were you doing out of the car?
Because as I looked over to leave Angela, she was gone out of the car. I stepped out of the car to check on her, and that's
What do you
when
mean check on her? What was she doing out of the car?
I have no idea. All I know, as it was going on, they were yelling about guns and everything. So I look over and she's gone. I get out to make sure she's okay, and that's when I got hit. No one chased anyone. I got hit as soon as I stepped in the grass.
What did you step in the grass for? Why didn't you stay in the car?
I got out to check on her. That's my fault for
Crossed
being
your
a
broken
friend.
face. You started this trouble. I believe him when he says that there was a knife in the console of the car, that he had seen it. Oh, I believe that. So your counterclaim is dismissed. Whatever bills you had for your face, take care of them. You went over there to cause trouble that evening. There's no question in my mind that you did. And you got it. You got more trouble than you bargained for. Well, that sometimes happens to bullies. Bullies sometimes get the short end of the stick.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I didn't smash his window in. I threw my shoe.
You told me in your answer, madam, that you were aiming for him.
No, I threw my shoe at him, and it hit
Right. What word didn't you understand that I said?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Steve Stover is suing Angela Morton and Jessica Shibley for having him falsely prosecuted and for smashing his windshield.
So the police were called, right?
Yes, ma'am.
When were you stopped?
The police never come to us. We went up the street, which my mother lives 3 houses up the street from this. We went to another friend's house, and she called the ambulance. The ambulance come, the police come. I went straight to emergency room.
And what'd you break his window for?
I broke his window because he was trying to leave, and she was laying on the ground, and I was scared, so I just threw my shoe. I wasn't running up to his truck, and I didn't smash his window in. I threw my shoe.
You
and
told
it hit
me in
his
your
window.
answer, madam, that you were aiming for him.
No, I threw my shoe at him, and it hit
Right. That's
his
what you
truck.
said. What word didn't you understand that I said? You said in your answer, I was aiming for him, and he ducked, and I hit the window.
Yes.
Why?
Because she was laying on the ground. I didn't know what he was going back in his truck to get, if he was going to hit me.
What were you doing out of your car?
I was out of my car because they were screaming stuff. I didn't want them to run up on me and hit me.
They weren't running anywhere. She was in the house, according to your friend, and he had walked away. So what did you get out of your car for?
I got out of my car because him and Brad were hollering stuff.
And you didn't like that they were hollering stuff? You have
No, I didn't know what they were going to
Sticks
do.
and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me?
I didn't know what they were going to do. I didn't want to be sitting
Well,
in the
if you
car
don't know what
anymore.
they're going to do, madam, then you get in your car and you go away. You don't get out of your car to confront them, especially when you've been the aggressor. You don't get out of your car. You stay in your car, and you go to her mother's house, which is 3 houses away. So you were arrested.
Yes, ma'am. And I was running. After I got my cousin loose, we all scattered, and we were running to get away from the trouble. They chased me to the truck.
I believe that they chased you to the truck. Oh, I believe that they chased you to the truck. So you were, in fact, arrested.
Yes, I was.
How long were you incarcerated?
I explained the story, what happened to the magistrate at the time, and he let me out on my own recognizance.
Now, why do you say you lost earnings?
Okay, originally, the first charge, when it was dismissed, They brought up new charges and made it aggravated malicious wounding and was a felony. And the city of Roanoke will not allow you, even though I hadn't been convicted, they will not allow me to have my cab license.
Now, let me ask you this question. How many witnesses testified at the criminal trial?
Myself, April, Tammy, and Brad.
Tammy, you were there?
Yes, ma'am.
Step up here, please. Do you know these two young ladies?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you see Jessica get hit in the face?
Yes, ma'am. I saw everything.
Saw everything?
Yes, ma'am. I was standing right there when everything happened.
I would like you to tell me how close Jessica was to the truck when she got hit in the face.
She was at the door to the truck because Steve reached in and he turned around and Jessica was there because they both ran past me to get to the truck. I was standing next to the car when everybody jumped out.
She wasn't a truck length away?
No.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Now, did you see Steve run to the truck?
I saw Steve run to the truck because April went flying. Steve immediately ran to the truck past me, right next to me. Jessica jumped out of the car, ran past me.
She jumped out of the...
She came barreling out of the car. I mean, she jumped out of the car.
How far did she have to run to get to the truck?
About a car and a half length.
But she was right behind him?
She was right behind him.
And where was Angela at this time?
Angela was on the other side of the car, and she jumped out of the car at the same time Jessica did.
Did she run up behind Jessica?
She was at the door as